Fuck, man. What's happening with the stickers I want to transfer to my PS5? Fuck, man. What's happening with the stickers I want to transfer to my PS5?
Alright, guys, what is going on? I hope y'all can hear me. I think y'all can hear me. Um, yeah, what's up, sleeve monkeys? What is going on to all of y'all? I am excited to be here. Yes, I was late. Work, well, is work. And I am on call some weeks, and so this happens to be one of those weeks. Didn't get home until like 8:45, I think is when I actually got inside my house. And so I can't quite start a show at 8:45 when you get home at 8:45. So, anyways, I am here now. Will is here. We're both here. Before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you and shout out to the folks who have made this channel possible and have pushed me over to that 500 mark. I truly appreciate it. If y'all could hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and that's very, very surreal. Michael, thank you so much. Michael Meridian with the 9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. He said, "Congrats, Thrifty." There is a way, and I am going to plug it. I'm not going to plug it a ton throughout the show because I don't want to lose the identity of what this show is. And it's a fun place for gamers to come and hang out and talk about the industry, talk about what's going on. And I don't want to get so caught up on that. But here's the deal. Here's what I want to say. There is a join button. You can join, you can come in, uh, we have some emojis. There are people who have the ability to use those. I will drop them in the chat. Those are four emojis that I put together. Basically, big win, huge loss, a building on fire for when either one of the panel members is saying something super fucking awesome or something like that. And then I use the DualSense controller because one, it's the best dang controller ever, and two, because we talk about games here. So those are the four I start with. Once I get, I think, three more members on top of the five we already have, I will be able to add two more. Once again, guys, thank y'all so much. RPG88, shout out to you. Thank you for becoming a member. I don't quite know how memberships work on like my end, but I do know that I get to see who is a member, and I do plan on making it to where those folks definitely get shout outs and those folks have recognition because guys, that's money that you're taking out of your pocket and putting into mine. So uh, can't say thank you enough for that. That's awesome. This is kind of a dream for me. I never thought I would do this. Like the great Philip J. Fry once said, "Shut up and take my money. Congrats, bro. Drinks all around." Man, I appreciate that. Cosmic Hero with the 10. Don't quite know how I'm supposed to do that if I'm supposed to say the name first, but whatever. We'll figure that out. Um, so right now we have RPG 88. These are called Playground Partners, okay? The only other thing I could think of was Playground Playmates and Lord Jesus. I didn't I didn't want anybody to confuse us or anything like that. Or Yeah, I didn't want to give anybody ideas. So, playground partner is what I came up with. I'll probably change that in the future when a stroke of genius hits me or when somebody in the Discord says, hey, you should call it this. But RPG 88, Henry Heck, Hero Down Under, Warawana, Ace Triple Zero, and the Kipling's Lounge. Thank all of y'all. Josh Ayers with the Australian $2. I appreciate that, guys. Okay, you said please don't. Oh, that's funny. Okay, guys. Tonight's show is going to be. Uh, we're going to try to run through it pretty quickly, okay? Will has to be out of here at 11:30, and it's probably smart for me to go to sleep by then as well. So I know we were late, and I want us to. We were late because of me, not because of Will. So we weren't late. I was late, and just just make that clear. I don't want Will to hop in here and go, man, I wasn't late. You were late. Josh Ayers, thank you for becoming a playground partner. That sounds terrible. I mean, terrible. RPG 88 with the 5 gifted members. Holy shit. I didn't think you could gift members this early. Huh. I'm, mm, I'm kind of speechless. I really am. Oh shit. Super chatted, saw that, saw that. Oh, dang. Okay, so these people are right. Keeping up with the finding where everybody says stuff is really difficult. Okay. Sorry, I've heard YouTubers talk about before how when somebody super chats, it's really hard for them to find like where it goes once it leaves the first screen, and they're not lying. Uh, RPG 88, man, I can't believe you did that. Holy crap. Uh, do it like Lono? Absolutely not. That is not my thing. I am not a scream tuber, scream uber, whatever it is. I can't do that. He plays that perfectly, and that is not for me. So, Michael Meridian, Cosmic Hero, JC 2013, Byron Cutler, and Outsider Gaming Night were all gifted memberships from RPG 88. That's awesome. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking. Thank y'all so much. Holy shit. J1, congratulations to Sony PlayStation's next two CEOs. Absolutely, Jay. I can't wait to get in there. Yeah, guys, y'all know how YouTube works. Do whatever y'all like. I would ask mainly that y'all would hit that like button and share this out. Uh, I heard Thrifty do it like Lono. That was in the Discord, and that was just for funsies. That was not live in front of a bunch of people. Holy crap. Okay. Um, looks like we're having. All right, so hang on, real quick. Tonight, we will be talking about Square Enix a bit. Are they done with PlayStation, or are people overreacting? Don't answer in the chat yet. We have time for that. Um, and then we're going to talk about the new leaders at PlayStation, one of which I completely called back when I was on the Grindhouse, not but a few months ago, and nobody doubted me or said no, that's not possible. But man, it just wasn't a very popular take on there, and so super super happy that I was at least half right. Which is also funny because it makes the other ones half right too. But anyways, and then Hellblade 2. There's some crazy man. I don't know, dude. I got a bad feeling about Hellblade 2, and so we're definitely going to get into that. And then this show is about games, and we had one announced today, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And dear God, Ubisoft's going to fuck around and get my money, and we're going to talk about possibly why. We're going to watch the trailer. I think it's going to be great. And then Sarah Bond did worse than Phil Spencer. That's how that should read. Let me fix that real quick. Uh, guys, I'm going to tell y'all the woman is a genius. I, she is terrifying, and every Xbox fan, everybody who supports that should be terrified. And I mean terrified. Slimy Mucus, Sony Financial show that they're going day and date on PC. Okay. Um, all right. I know their financial show that they had year over year 8% growth. I do know that. So, anyways, love to stay, but bed is calling. I'll hit up on the rewind. Dude, you came in, dropped a member bomb, and now you're backing out. Man, that's awesome. What is up, Hero? Hero, I got you shouted out at the beginning. Thank you for the membership. Um, and so Sony financials. So if Slimy, I know you weren't here for the beginning. I've been on call this week, so I only know what I've seen on Twitter of the Sony financials, and that is not a great place to get all your information. So I'm gonna wait to talk about their financials, not because they're bad. I actually, from what I've seen, they're pretty dang good, and I kind of like a lot of what Sony's doing right now. And the two people they put in place, I think, are geniuses. But without further ado, with no more gilding the lily, I love that phrase, by the way. Gilding the lily. What lily are we gilding? Is that a euphemism? I've just always thought it was awesome. I heard it in A Knight's Tale, and I've always thought that was a great saying. Anyways, green tags everywhere. I said no to your show. Hell yeah. Assassin's Creed Shadows, weird. No, Assassin's Creed Shadows, actually, that name gives me so much hope. All right, Will, are you there, brother?
Yep, I'm right here, man.
Woo, he's right here. He is super loud. Hang on. You're not loud to me because I adjust you in my headset, but ooh, you went straight all the way over to red. All right, can you? So, Will, what? I know you beat Stellar Blade. I know that you have. Um, You've been playing that, oh shoot, that indie game, the blue and black pictures you've been posting of it.
What,
Uh,
Gravity Rush?
no, I know you've been playing Gravity Rush. There was another one that I thought you'd been playing. The Wall, the Well,
Oh no, man, I played that like the first day it came out, but it's not my jam.
not your bag of tea, huh?
Yeah,
Or cup
no,
of tea.
just checking it out. Henry likes the game. He likes it a lot. So shout out to Henry. He
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 also
enjoys
likes
it.
Call of Duty, so just
Henry's got a wide palette in games like we do, or like I do at least.
he's got something
Um,
wide. He's been playing Call of Duty for a
but,
long time, getting fucked up the. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
hey, like I say, man, Call of Duty is one of the few games that, I mean, the mechanics are crisp. The gameplay is, I mean, you can tell that they stick hundreds of millions into that game.
Now that's true. So what are you playing right now? Are you still on Gravity Rush?
Well, beat Gravity Rush the first one yesterday. I already had a I was already like 80% done with it, but I was stuck in a level, and Josh motivated me to pick it back up after like a year, and I ended up beating that level and continued on to beat the game. I started up the second one, but I've been in that kind of limbo state where I ended up buying Sandland last last weekend. Game is fun, but it just wasn't scratching that itch. So then I jumped back into Immortals of Avium for my New Game Plus
Now
playthrough,
hang on.
especially
Sandland,
after.
you seemed pretty high on when you were first playing it. What happened?
Oh, it's a good game, and I'm gonna get back to it, but it's not hitting that itch. I mean, you go from something like Stellar Blade, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's tough, man. I mean, it's just like when we get into the PlayStation first party games, when you beat those, it's like you're in that melancholy kind of state, right? Because you're like,
Yeah.
man, I just played greatness, and now it's
Now
hard to
back
find
to
a
the
game
other
that's
shit.
comparable. Yeah, yeah. It's like when you watch your favorite TV show and you get down to the last season, last episode, and now you're just sitting there like happy and depressed at the same time. You're like, oh well, I'm glad that I was able to love it, but now what? So I'm kind of in that limbo. So Sandlance is a great game, and I definitely get back to it. But going from Stellar Blade to that, it's just it's not the same. But it is a fun game. It is a great game. I'm excited to get back into it, but I'm just in one of those moods. So I've been playing everything from Dead Island 2 with Nelson. We play those on the weekends because of Nelson's schedule, which I check his YouTube out. We play on there. He streams it. I asked the Discord, which if you guys haven't joined, please join our Discord. We're constantly talking about everything on there, gaming wise. I asked should I get Ghost Recon Breaking Point or Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Doom recommended Breakpoint, so I ended up buying that. Played that for a little bit. Still didn't feel that itch being scratched. Then I jumped over to Immortals of Avium, started my new game plus, and I got motivated, especially after what happened on the Discord last week with Thou Shall Not Be Named with the Souls games. Um, and then I also been playing Killzone Shadowfall, which I've never finished. I think I am maybe a little bit over halfway done. Game is great, but it definitely shows its age a little bit with the visuals. Not that bad. I've seen way worse games, but in comparison to like a Stellar Blade or like a Ratchet and Clank, stuff like that, it's just not comparable. But I will say that for when that game came out till now, it still holds up. It holds up really well. And also you gotta remember that with these new games, we have the Dual Sense, right? So the Dual Sense adds another layer to gaming now. So when you go back to some of these games that didn't have that support, you really start to miss those features. So that's another thing now where you feel a little bit more melancholy, right? Because you go from something modern that takes advantage of the dual sense features to something that's a little bit older that doesn't have it. You kind of feel like you're missing a little bit out on that. But I downloaded Rage 2, been playing that for a little bit, and then Gravity Rush, man. But those are the games that I've been playing, just trying to get back in the groove of what game I want to finish next.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we have the month of, well, seemingly ouch, I just hit my knee on my desk. Seemingly the month of May, we have a pretty good break, it seems, to kind of get caught up a bit, right? Like, I've been far behind on my gaming. I need to finish Stellar Blade, which I am, according to the, I think I'm like 34, 35%, uh, because the side quests don't seem to tick up your percentage as much as they should. I've almost done every side quest after the second main area, if that makes sense. Um, and
Where you at?
I do what?
Where you at?
I finished the Wastelands. I am in Matrix 7 or 11. I'm
Okay.
in I'm in Matrix. Um, but as soon as I got into Matrix, so many more quests opened up, and
Mm.
I know, you can skip those. Yeah, no, I can't. So when those
I
quests
didn't
opened
skip them.
up, I
I did all the quests.
so now I'm going back to Eidos 7. I then got back to Zion. Once I got back to Zion, one more quest in Eidos 7 opened up, and I was so pissed off. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was just there for an hour and a half doing all of this. And so, anyways, the game is still super fun, guys. I have no y'all if y'all saw my first impressions, you know that the things that I have that are going against the game have absolutely nothing to do with how much I enjoy the game. The biggest knock for me is ray tracing. I really would have loved to see some actual ray tracing in this game. Uh, and because the shadows, I think they got really well, like they did really well on them. But the ray tracing in the game, it's non-existent. There is no ray tracing. They're using screen space reflections. You can tell that by the way the light actually hits things and doesn't actually reflect off, but more kind of like more kind of just moves with the camera angle, but not actually like reflecting like water. It'll change the way the water looks, but you won't really see anything from the environment reflecting in the water or reflecting off a glass. And so, I don't know, a game like this that was just so beautifully done, I hope, and I posted this on Nate's X, one of his comments he made. Um, I had told him, I said, man, I hope we get a pro version of this that has ray tracing. And I think that if that came out with ray tracing, the game's a 10 out of 10 all day long. But so that's what I've been playing. And I've also been doing just a couple rounds of uh, Double Dragon Neon still. Uh, it's a fun little game to just get in and beat some things up and then get off. Like, if I just want to get a few minutes, 10, 20 minutes of gaming in, I'll pop that on and I'll play that. And so that's been a really fun game. They've been throwing it on sale as of late, and really think that it's just one of those games that I like to just dive into and then hop right back off of. Holy shit, did I miss some stuff? I did. Um, Dual senses. Will you? Damn it! Thank you. You don't have to do that, and I know you don't have to do that. Hit that like and subscribe. Hit all the buttons. Yes, please. Thank you, Will 777JP. So, um, yeah, RPG 88 by a mobile game maker. Yeah, absolutely. I was playing some mobile games. Car Quest, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links was actually fun. I played that back in the day when it first dropped. Uh, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links was extremely, extremely addicting. I've been playing this game called Tap Heroes. It's a mobile phone game. Takes about 10 to 15 minutes a day to play. Literally. And been playing that. I've been playing that for a few years though. That's like I lay down in bed and 10 to 15 minutes I'm on my phone and then I put my phone down and I go to sleep. But and I know for those of y'all in the chat you're going to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't play on your phone in bed." But leave me alone. So, Will, we've talked a lot and we always talk about how this is a gaming channel, and Nate, when I mentioned to all the salty podcast members that the channel got monetized and all of that, I told all of them thank you because each one of them has been on the show and helped promote and has interacted with me through social media and stuff like that. So I was just reaching out to them, telling them thanks. And Nate was like, "Man, I love the fact that your channel is video game focused. We need more like that." And so combine that with what Will talked to me about earlier about kind of wanting to do a segment over like just games. Just what are we doing, right? Just games. Um, it really I do not want this to be a gripe session or anything like that every single week where we come and we just yell at the mic and yell at the screen and do all that. I do love games. I love playing games. I love diving into a game, spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in it and go, you know what? That game's not for me. Let me tell y'all why. I like that kind of stuff. I like diving into a game and staying up way past what I should and just getting immersed into these worlds, and I love talking about them. And when Will had said, "Hey, we should do this segment," I was like, I've thought about that, but we always get around to talking about the video games. Always. It never stops. Like tonight, we're going to talk about Square Enix. We're going to talk about PlayStation and kind of Herman Holst and the new leader whose name I forgot already. We're going to talk about Hellblade 2, which is another game. Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Discord's been going nuts. Some people on the side of, hey, let's get the game day one. I'm going to get the stupid deluxe commander stupid shit edition that comes with a maid that cleans your house and like wipes your butt for you and stuff, and like I'm gonna get that one. And then others are like, no, it's online only, I'm not doing it. And so like we have varying opinions on video games, and the playground is a place to talk about those. So with that said, welcome to the playground. That was a hell of a long intro, and I cannot believe where we're at right now. So sorry guys, I didn't know how I would handle the first stream after getting monetized, and y'all are making it super hard for me not to just like pass out. Um, Chimp, Chimp, you're fine, dude. Yeah, I was late as hell, yelling to the void. I made it. What's up, Wara? Oh man. For those of y'all who are members, y'all do have a ton of stuff that with the emojis that y'all can use those while we're talking. So we will be talking about Square Enix here in just a second. I have an emoji that's big win and huge loss. If y'all, anytime while we're talking, feel like you want to give an opinion on it or just want to give a quick snip, you can easily put whether you think it's a big win or whether you think that topic's a big loss or what have you. So what happened basically was that Square Enix came out and said, "Hey, our HD titles did pretty damn good last year. Our other titles didn't do well at all. Also, we've been spreading people too thin. We've been doing too many projects. We're going to focus on quality over quantity. We're going to narrow our focus. We're going to have a set team that handles reboots. Fan fucking tastic idea. We're going to have a set team that handles reboots. We're going to have a set team that handles our HD games. Done." So basically, what they're doing is everything I've asked them to do, and every single reason why I wanted Sony to purchase them. Like, that's what they're doing. But somehow, Xbox dipshits have taken it upon themselves to make something that had very little to nothing to do with them all about them. Because it's being framed, and I glanced over about 6 different articles. A couple of them were from clearly biased news sources, um, like Microsoft or or like The Verge, like just clearly biased sources. Uh, IGN also kind of reiterated the same thing. I actually went to another article, and all that dude did was copy and paste The Verge and put it in under his name, Wolfgang something or another. And it was damn near word for word what the Verge article was. But you have them phrasing it and spinning it that, oh, these their numbers are so terrible because of uh, exclusivities. Oh, they're going to get rid of exclusivities because they said that they're trying to do this because they know that they need Xbox money. Guys, I hate to break it to you. They've had your money before, and it didn't help. And then they said F off. And they're not really going to come back. They're going to come back with a few titles here and there. Maybe you'll get access to 17-year-old games or 10-year-old games or 5-year-old games, but I can guarantee you with almost 100% certainty that Xbox ain't getting shit. But what does it mean for where I game? Because that's what matters. What does it mean for me? What it means for me is that I hope to get some really nice, high quality games. What it means is that their HD sector was the only sector of their video games that actually made money. And, hang on, let me check over here. Um, yeah, thank you, Josh. The MMO is down the year Xbox got it. Yeah, last year. And I think that's a huge problem is the MMO has not done what I think they were hoping. Um, Warawana, thank you for the $2, man. I appreciate that. Oh man. Sorry guys, forgot it was Wednesday. Nate. Oh, what's up, dude? Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, their software sales in HD in the HD market were actually up. And they were good. They attributed that to Final Fantasy, Dragon Hunter, Dragon something. Um, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy Collection from last year. And there were some other games that they had mentioned as well. I highlighted a couple of them because the narrative is that, oh, these games didn't do well for them, so that's why they're wanting to go more multi-platform. No, those games did do well, you ignorant jackass. Read the shit. Just read it. It's not hard. And so I yesterday, or what's the day before? Anyways, one day, the guy who I'm about to ask to give his opinion, I see him in the Discord write "fuck Square Enix," to which I had already been talking to Cosmic Hero on X about this whole situation, and I had thought they had come out and done something stupid. I had thought they'd said something stupid. Come to find out, Will was just talking about what I already knew and what I already saw and what they'd already said. Because, and I'm gonna let Will correct me if I'm wrong, but some people ain't been with Square since I've been with Square. Some people been with Square longer than me, but some people ain't been with Square as long as I have. They haven't been following that company. I was following that company before I had access to the internet because I love the company. But the problem is that company does some of the dumbest things I have ever seen. And I mean, not to the level of like Ubisoft dumb, where it's like people need to get used to not owning their games, or the EA dumb, where it's like, hey, buy our Madden franchise that sucks ass. Oh, and give us money to play online with your friends. Like, is dumb. And yes, I know you don't have to buy the cards. You can earn the bullshit. You gotta buy the cards to be competitive on the online mode. But like, they've done some really, really stupid stuff. And this is just another thing in a long line of stupid stuff. And so, Will, I am dismissive of this 100%. I do not think it's going to affect what exclusives PlayStation gets. I think PlayStation is going to affect what exclusives they get, not Square. Um, and I just think this is a big old nothing burger that Xbox loyalists are trying to make about themselves. Will, what do you think, man?
Yeah. And first off, Thrifty, you sound like you're married to to Square Enix over here. Like I've been with them since. But I get what you're saying. No, I
No, it's
said
because I see these young stupid asses going, "Oh man, Square Enix is blah blah blah. They're cooked."
yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
listen. You ain't seen
yeah,
the shit I seen.
yeah. No, they're not even close to that. Like people don't like. Well, to just to help you understand, I said fuck Square Enix because um just me shitting on Square, right? Square being Square. But the like I was telling War today on the Discord, I have this last couple of weeks I've been really just like down on the gaming industry as a whole, like journalists and like publishers, developers, like studio directors, just like CEO. Like I'm just like even YouTubers. Like I haven't watched uh, any YouTubers. Like I just feel like there's so many people that are hypocritical, bought and sold, doing it for the likes, don't even play the games they're talking. And I've just been in this like fuck the industry kind of mood, right? And the reason I said fuck
You don't say.
Square in specific was because you know how Square is always bitching about sales, right? Even though they just had what three bangers in the last year that sold to 3 million day one, right? But obviously, what these Xbox guys are doing, or just even the journalists, right? Because we've been seeing them too. They're just trying to. I really think they're coming to a pass now, a moment in time where Xbox is done, right? There really is no more competition for PlayStation except for Nintendo, and we know that they both have their own.
And that's just like two cars driving on the same highway into separate
Exactly.
lanes. Like,
Exactly. So it's like they're not really competing against each other, but quote unquote they kind of are. And I think that they've come to that realization. So a little sidetrack. So we heard about Xbox. We talked about Xbox last week with their shutdown of studios and blah blah. Well, people are putting that, titling their videos, titling their articles, titling everything with what's happening on Xbox, and then slash what's happening at PlayStation with the Helldiver situation. I'm like, how are you even comparing these two things? We're talking about an inconvenience to people losing their jobs. Like, but that's just the reality of it. So when the
freaking
Square news
apples to
comes out,
oranges, man.
yes, it's completely different. So they're just trying to do what they do best, and that's trolling and just trying to amp people up and give them that shitty information so then they can have some ammunition for their spewing of bullshit towards PlayStation, and that's all that is. But Square Enix, I've never really been a fan. I've never really played, Final Fantasy games or anything like that. I do have some Square Enix games. They're not one of my favorite developers. I don't look at Square Enix to see what they're coming out with next. I see them as a game per game basis, right? If they come out with a game that's interesting to me, I might check it out. But it's not a developer where I'm like, I have to stay on top of Square Enix because I love what they do, and more than likely I'm gonna get their shit. It's not like that at all.
Mm.
They're like towards the bottom of my priorities.
Yeah, and see, for me, it's not even that I look for their new releases. I look for continuations of their franchises. That's the main thing that I look at. Like, I still want to play Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. Um, but I played the demo of 2 and it made me nauseous. And I don't know if it's because like the way the background moves and the foreground at the same. I have no idea. I might try it again now that I have the portal. Maybe it was just too weird on the big screen. I don't know. But I don't even follow them that much anymore on what like new titles they're working on. But man, these old titles, like the franchises that they have, I follow those like crazy. And their movings as a company, you don't really have to follow them. It's like a really, I don't know who stayed at home with their mom when they were a kid and watched soap operas, right? Damn it, RPG 88, go to sleep. Thanks for the gifted member, dude. I just saw that. Sorry. Um, the damn it, this is gonna be too hard. Holy crap. So you if you stayed home from school sick, you had to watch a soap opera with your mom. The fun thing is like you would be at school for a whole nother month, never miss a day, be sick again, and have to watch that same soap, and you didn't miss a fucking thing. It's the same shit over and over and over again. Like
I
it's
will
does that make sense? It's the same thing.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I will say this, part of the other question is, I do think that Sony's relationship with Square is definitely going to be changing now. I think that, like you said, it's not going to be so much what Square can provide Sony as far as exclusive goes. It's going to be more in the lane of what does Sony want from Square.
Hmm.
I think that the dynamic with Xbox basically exiting is going to I just don't think they that Square should be whenever they make their budgets, I don't think they should be putting in there how much they think Sony's going to cut, check wise, how much money Sony's going to cut them for their next exclusive. I think that it's the clear winner is Sony. Square knows that if they want success, it's gonna have to be through Sony. So I think Sony's holding all the
Mm,
cards as far as
right.
how much, they're gonna pay for what and for when.
Well, and it doesn't help with the fact that Sony had the marketing for Forspoken, and Sony did the absolute best they could to make that
Oh,
game desirable.
dude, that game still sold. I mean, it
It's
still
still
sold a few
sold.
million copies.
It's still sold. Like,
But something that does rub me the wrong way with Square Enix, which this kind of is, part of the reason why I said fuck Square is I'm just sick and tired of Square constantly just bitching about their sales when like I said, the last 3 4 games they released, their big AAA games, have all sold millions of games. Like they're in the top 10 of publishers, developers that are selling that kind of that amount of games. Like who else is selling that quantity with that amount of games all within the short amount of time. Like there isn't many people doing that. So for them to be out here just bitching about sales and oh yeah, like we didn't hit the goal or we're not satisfied, it's like, dude, you are blessed. And that just rubs me a little bit the wrong way because it's like grass is always greener kind of attitude, and I've always hated that attitude.
yeah, and that's kind of what I don't see them thinking the grass is greener. I see I see like you said, I see it that it's Sony doesn't have to pay for exclusivity right now. I think that Sony is going to be a little bit more choosy on what studios they work with. and what franchises that they want to be a part of. Like they just picked up one in Stellar Blade. I can almost guarantee you they are going to have a ring on that finger in the form of a contract with Shift Up for another game. Like
Oh,
I,
absolutely.
I can almost guarantee you that game has done very, very well. As well it
And it's a
should.
great game.
Right, as well it should. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic game. Uh, it's super, super fun. Guys, I can't stress that shit enough. Buy that game if you haven't yet. I'm not telling people to go into poverty for the game, but like, if you have the money, buy the game. It's
Oh yeah.
fantastic, guys. Um,
Yep.
damn, the way
And
she
remember,
talks and the way she interacts with everybody, and the way that some of the characters like have to get to know you, like the girl at the vending machine down next to Sister's
Roxanne.
junk.
Oh, never mind.
I
The
don't know her
sister's
name
junk.
yet.
Yeah.
But like down by Sister's junk, if you turn directly behind you, there's a vending machine over there, and there's somebody in the way of that vending machine. Well, if you talk to them when you first get to Zion, they like screech, go away, I don't want you to be seen with you. But once you get back from the wasteland, it's like, don't think I'm gonna, like, the dialogue improves and your relationship with people improve the more stuff you do, kind of its own like built-in fame system almost. And it's so freaking awesome the way they did that. It's so cool to like Eve starts to win people over in the game, and they start like there's one mission where like the guy is super rude to Eve the whole time. And then Eve's like, "No, I'll help." And he's like, "Wait, what?" like, and so I just find it funny because it gives you a chance to win these people over, and it gives you a chance to see this character growth. And for any of the journos out there who were saying, "Oh, the story sucks. There's no story,"
Oh my goodness.
y'all are fucking
Dude, you know
morons.
what's
Like,
the irony in all this is fuck, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. But
mm-mm,
I won't say too
uh-uh,
much, but
uh-uh.
it's how they kept saying that he's monotone and it's like, dude, you didn't
Oh,
finish the
Adam.
game, did you? Or any like one of them said that Lily really livened up the game the last 4 or 5 hours, and that Eve was like very monotone, Adam was very monotone. Was like, well, if you beat the game like you should have because you're reviewing it, then you would have maybe got a little bit of insight into how they are as people and what they're about and why they do the things they do and why they say the things they do. Shit, even why they talk the way they talk, right? But it just shows you that these
Mm.
fucking, it's just adding on to the me not giving, really staying giving the middle finger to
So,
the gaming industry because it's like, dude, you're one fucking job. Just like Tom, what's his name? Tom, the journalist,
Tom
Tom,
War, the journalist, that's cute. Tom
quote
Warren is the
unquote,
guy's name.
Tom Warren. Yeah, we made that comment on Twitter that I shared yesterday where
He
he's,
gets
oh
paid to write
yeah,
articles like I get paid to be here. Okay? Like,
exactly.
it's.
I was like, dude, how about you do your job and
That's,
actually find out why this is happening? Like, and then he deleted the comment later, but it's just like this fucking bullshit. Like, these journalists aren't playing the game, then they're reviewing the game, and which we'll get into in a little bit. They're talking about, oh, Hellblade, fucking or Helldivers, not
oh,
Helldivers, Hellblade 2,
yeah.
the
I knew what you meant. That's why I giggled.
the shit expires an hour before it comes out. I was like, does it fucking matter? There's only a handful of people that are gonna fucking play the damn game any fucking ways. Most of you fucking assholes are gonna play it for 2 hours and be like, yeah, so it's the greatest game of our fucking generation. I give it a 9 out of 10. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Greatest game. It's 8 hours. Last 8 hour game was that I
Yeah.
remember having this much hype was. Oh shoot, what's its name? Well, hell, it was the Order 1886.
Oh yeah. Oh, that game's been what do you call that? It's been going off on social media this last week or so.
Well, yeah,
People have definitely been talking a lot about that
people are
game.
getting prepared to watch or to play an 8 hour game, so they're talking about what other 8 hour games there have been and tech demos and stuff like that. But back to Square. I think that Square doesn't have. I think for a long time, Square has tried to literally throw shit against the wall and see what stuck. And fun fact, when you do that and spread yourself very thin, so there's a there's a guy I listen to. His name is Propaganda, and it's a kind of a spoken word rap hip hop artist. And he has a line in one of his songs that says, multitasking is a lie. You're not doing anything good, just everything awful.
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me almost to a fault. Like I when you spread yourself too thin, when you have too many irons in the fire, it gets to a point where you're not effective at any of them. It gets to the point, and this is what really bothered me. Forspoken, you get a pass. It was the first game on new gen hardware for your studios. Get it, you get a pass. You were also using a pretty archaic source code, which Luminous used also for Final Fantasy 15. So I get it. I understand that. But when you have Final Fantasy 16 come out and it's blurry and it's glitchy and the main thing you focused on was combat and you could see how the teams you had working on it were kind of disjointed and it wasn't really seamed together very well between the story beats and the combat and exploration. And so like you have kind of this disconnect graphically speaking, not talking about story, I'm talking about graphically speaking, you have different kind of resolutions that come through and different frame pacing issues that come through when you're outside of combat in the cities versus when you're in combat or exploring the open terrain. So like you could tell things were disjointed. You could also tell a lot of stuff was disjointed with Valkyrie Elysium, with Star Ocean. Shoot, not First Departure, not Second Story. The most recent Star Ocean game. I can't think of the damn name. Divine Force. Jesus. You can see that they had too much stuff going on and nothing was a success. They have not had what they consider to be a success since Final nope, Kingdom Hearts 3. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 came out after Final Fantasy 15. Everything else, their numbers and budgets have been so damn high and their management has been so terribly handled. That's why everything they're doing are all of the reasons why I wanted Sony to purchase them in the first place. Because I felt that with Sony's leadership, they would get back to realistic expectations, higher quality games, and being able to focus on, like what Will said, bring us the games that gamers want. They know what we want. They're talented as fuck over there.
15 out. Sony can't just come in and save every developer publisher in the industry, man. That's something they have to figure themselves
No,
out.
and I'm
It's
happy
a
though. I'm
it's
happy
a
though.
cultural thing that they're going through. You know, with these companies, man, they have to go through it, bro. It's like I say all the time. You know, you have a drug addict or alcoholic, family member, friend, or somebody you care about. It doesn't matter what rehab center you send them in the world. It could be the best one in the universe. And until that person themselves says, you know what, I want to get clean, I want to do better, they're never going to. So same thing with Square. Until they say, you know what, I'm tired of living like this, I want to do better, it's when they're going to focus and start doing their shit correctly. It's not hard. They have the IP, they have the experience, they have the history. I mean, they have it all. They just got to get their shit together, man.
I agree. I agree, and I think that they are. I think that Sony did approach them last year. I fully believe that they sold off all of their debt to make themselves more attractive to a buyer. When they sold off all of their debt, Sony, like a month later, sold off 80% of its financial division, acquiring $6.2 billion in assets, financial assets, from doing that. I speculated at the time that they were either going to buy Sony, or not Sony, sorry, that Sony was either going to buy Square Enix or that they were going to buy WB Games. I still hope they buy WB Games. That shit is still for sale.
I think
And
that would be a better buy.
oh, dude, give us Hogwarts Legacy. Give us the all the access to all the Arkham, like not access, but give us
All
the
the
Arkham.
DC shit,
Yes, all
man.
the
All
DC
the
shit. But then I don't know how that works with Sony proper holding DC rights and Marvel
The more
rights
the
because of
merrier.
well, I think there might be some sort of like I don't know. I'm not going to act like I
Nah,
know what the
bro.
fuck I'm talking about there, but that feels like there's something wrong with that.
No,
like,
I mean maybe a monopoly in comic book shit, but
but
those are
could they
just
say that?
IPs.
Could I right? And they don't own the whole slate of them.
Yeah,
They
no, I
don't
mean they're just
they
like
don't
anything.
own
There's
every
movie,
facet of that
yeah, there's
IP.
movie licensing, video game licensing, comic. I mean, there's
Right.
a lot of like market, or merchandising. There's a lot of shit. But look,
So,
we all know Sony is the most powerful, right? And in power, I don't mean money or I don't mean none of that. What I mean power is as in making the games, right? They're the
mm,
most powerful in making the best games. That's what I mean. And to me, that's what Sony is powerful at. I really don't give a shit about the sales or the numbers or anything like that. What that does for me, it just gives me a little bit more comfort that they will keep going to make more games. That's all I see the financials as, right? Well, they're healthy financially. That means that they'll
uh,
keep making more games. That means I'll be eating for a while longer.
no, sorry, Josh. I don't mean revealed as in like they're going to. I'm sorry. I should have said it's going to be given a time window. I know that they revealed it. They did it with the kind of the drop down scene over what looks like a present day style area, and they showed him lying down, and then showed some other like darkness stuff. Like I know that they've seen it. That thing is drilled into my brain because it looks super cool. I just think that this year, over the summer, we're going to actually see kind of a window given for Kingdom Hearts 4. Because that game, they had the trailer ready 2 years ago, I believe. I think it was 2 years ago. And so I think it's time now. Plus, they do like dovetailing it on the end of a decent year for Final Fantasy, which last year was, or the last fiscal year was, even by their standards. Uh, Three of the things that they mentioned were Final Fantasy games on how well they sold in the HD space. Um, but anyways, moving forward. Sorry. Uh, we are. So that's really it. I don't think Sony really needs the Square Enix deal anymore. I think that Square Enix is realizing that, hey, maybe we don't need Sony, but we also don't need Microsoft. We're going to expand into PC on our own. We're going to go over here to mobile on our own. We're going to or keep expanding into mobile. We're going to be focusing heavily on our HD games. Y'all don't understand that they also over the past several years have launched like 5 or 6 or 7 like mobile titles, and most of them closed down within a couple of years. They have been losing their ass left and right. Thank you, Twisted Sin. This has been a long time coming. Congrats, by the way, man. I really appreciate it. Twisted Sin with the $5. I appreciate that. Um, there is so much I want to say. See, sadly, Square Enix is a company I could sit and hypothesize about forever,
Yeah,
but
we
that's not
know
what we're
you're
here
a
for.
Square fanboy.
That's not what we're here for. Let's keep going. We have new leaders at PlayStation, and I could not be fucking happier. Like, when I say that the people who they got to run this shit was the best decision I have ever seen a company make when picking CEOs or picking leadership, I'm not kidding. Like, I fully, fully believe that this was the best possible outcome. And I know, we have something in here about the whole, you know, dual-headed dragon thing. I saw somebody, I think it was Nelson, but somebody put really liked the double dragon approach from Sony, and I thought that was funny because you had Billy and Lee, and I was like, that's hilarious. That's really funny. Um, Two CEOs is going to be interesting, man. I agree, but let's get into this because this is super cool. And then we're going to get back into games, talking about Hellblade 2 and AC Shadows coming up. But on this, I don't think we're going to spend too much time on it because as much as I think it was a great hire, we don't give a flying rat's ass who the suits are as long as the suits don't try to screw us by taking away our games. Ain't that right? That's right. So let me bring this up. I am having some technicality difficulties. There it is. All right, let's go. Shapoopy. Here you go, guys. Sony announces two PlayStation CEOs to replace Jim Ryan. Hey, if you think that this is a big win, put that in the chat. If you think it's a huge loss, put that in the chat. You can do it using the emojis. Will, what in the heck do you think about, for one, Hiroki Totoki going back to his fucking building and leaving Sony PlayStation alone? Like, go
Yeah,
bye
I'm
bye.
happy about that. Yeah, I'm happy to man. We all do it, right? When your boss's boss comes in and you're like, oh God, now I gotta, tuck my shirt in a little bit better, make sure my desk is more squared away. It's like finally we can back to our routine.
Your
Not saying that these
butthole
things are
puckers up
bad,
just a
but
bit.
yeah, yeah, just a little
Like,
bit. You got to follow a little bit more rules to the T. You're like, oh my goodness, like okay, that extra 5 minutes you take on lunch that your boss didn't care because he knows you work hard. He doesn't know that, right? So you try to do things a little differently. He's gone, which is great. Um, Go back to do what you do best, bro, which is the numbers, and you can tell that that's what he knows how to do best, right? Because the first things that he tried to do while fulfilling the CEO role at PlayStation is just talking about numbers.
that's
The whole
it.
time he was there, it's all numbers. So he was doing his job, and I don't blame him for that because that's what he's there for. So I'm excited for him to go back to do his job at over at corporate. Now, the two hirings, I've never really seen that before. I mean, I've seen CEO and like a deputy, or or a CFO may come in and they kind of treat it as a team effort. Or I've seen the upper management, CFO, all the managers start with C, presidents, they kind of do things as a group, right? But I've never seen this before, and it makes so much sense. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't existed before, right? Because I'm limited to what I know. But I really like this because they took two dudes, which by the way, they both been at Sony for a long time. They both basically started from the bottom. They both
Now we're here.
been involved in their product in their own ways, right? Speaking of Herman's side, I mean, the dude went from Killzone to just even the way, and just to give you guys, for you guys that don't know, the way that Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn came about is they want to go a different direction after Killzone. And instead of Herman saying, okay, well, this is what we're going to do next and just drop it, no, he didn't do that. He took ideas from his team, from everybody. I forget how many were submitted. I want to say it was like 30 or 50 ideas for a new IP, something like that. And they all kind of voted amongst themselves, and Horizon ended up winning. So what does that say? I mean, gosh, what a leader, right? It's like when you're the leader of the household, it's like, okay, you take what your kids think, you take your spouse's opinions, but at the end of the day, you're the one making the decision. And guess what? Sometimes that decision does not benefit you at all, but because it benefits your family, you make that decision. And
Hmm.
that's what Herman has, that's what a true leader does. Just because it doesn't benefit you doesn't mean that that's you shouldn't do that. No, you should be looking at yourself last. You should be looking at how you can support your people and encourage them and give them the tools necessary to do their job, right? And that's what they did with Horizon. And look, smash hit, right? Tens upon tens of millions of copies sold. We've heard rumors of Legos and Horizon doing something together. We don't know exactly what it is. Rumors are that it's going to be a new game. That's besides the point. But look at how much it's grown, right? So he came
Nah, I think
from,
it's new sets. I think they're gonna give us new.
well, we already got sets, so why would they make it a big deal?
Well, because you get new ones. Like,
Yeah, but I
so you don't
mean,
understand the Lego community. I don't really either. But those motherfuckers, those Lego guys are like the Warhammer guys, dude. They will go out and they will
true.
spend hundreds of dollars. My wife and I were at our local game store today.
They're
Um,
expensive.
we got her a new commander deck because I'm teaching her how to play Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
And
nice.
so we went there, and I was like, "Hey, honey, I spent like $7 to buy a couple singles for her deck." And I went in and I said, "Hey, honey, I promise you, if I ever wanted," because she was like, "Oh man, Magic is just a money sink, isn't it? I love it, but man, it's so expensive." I said, "No, no, 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 no." And I pointed over to the Warhammer stuff, and I said, "That's expensive." I said, "Every one of those boxes is $100 starting almost." And she was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, and that big box up there, that's about $400." And the guy behind the
Yeah.
counter goes, actually, it's 550. And I was like, I
Well,
was
they
like,
just released that Lord of the Rings Lego set with the Eye of whatever, and that thing's like 499 or something like that. Crazy.
so let me respond to something Warawana said real quick. I know I'm swapping back, but let me respond to something he said real quick. He said following Square longer doesn't mean your take or logic is quote unquote better than others. It may just mean that you add more context to some things really. And so, yes, I didn't mean to say that people who are freaking out right now, not on the Xbox side, but people who are freaking out thinking that Square is just cooked. Those people, I am more saying, I'm not really saying that they're dumb or stupid or ignorant or whatever. Well, they are ignorant because they don't know. But I'm trying to provide some context to them to let them know that Square does this once every few years, and it's just kind of what they do. It's just their thing. Like they're kind of that toxic boyfriend. It's like it's just their fucking thing. He's gonna go. You're gonna find him at the strip club one night, drunk off his ass. You're gonna go back to work. You're gonna tell your coworkers about it, and then he won't do it again for 4 more years, and then the next time you'll find him same spot. So like it's just it's that one fatal flaw that these guys have. Anyways, new leadership, Herman Holst. Okay, I love the two-headed approach that they're doing to this. I
So
I've
before you take on, let me finish up with that real quick,
yeah yeah
Thrifty.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. My
S-
bad.
So them taking two guys, one is from hardware, one from software, to split up that responsibility. I think that's a great decision. I think I'm excited to see what comes out because now we have two guys leveling each other out, not one guy having to make the financials or the artistic decisions plus trying to figure out the financials of the company and how he can make both of them work. Now they can have two brains to figure it out, so I'm super excited, especially their backgrounds and what they're going to be doing now.
No, I think it's one of the most genius things, and I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Oh, you're good, man.
Also, you can jump in anytime. I think you're playing a game right now because you've been really quiet while I've been talking.
Oh, I
That's
play games
not
every
normal.
week, but I let you talk, bro.
What are you playing?
Killzone right now.
Well, okay. Hey, which one?
The Shadowfall.
Killzone 3. That game is really really awesome. I love that game. Uh,
It holds up, man.
it really does. I played it not but a couple months ago, and it's so good. Reviews, they made a fucking trailer. I don't know if it sets. Huh? Josh, what did I miss? A Horizon Lego game would be crazy, dare I say unprecedented. Josh, I'm gonna need some help on what you meant on at Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews. They made a fucking trailer. I don't know if it sets. Huh? Oh. 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 You're talking about. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Oh. Will,
What did he say?
did you know that they made a trailer for the Horizon Lego crossover thing?
No, when did it come out?
I don't know. Josh is saying they made a trailer, and I
Oh, bro,
don't.
Google it. Or Josh, send us the link, bro.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't
The
know
Lego
that.
Horizon leak came from someone saying they know they made a trailer. I don't know if it's Lego sets. Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
so
crazy.
these are rumors then.
Okay, hey, listen, we've worked with way less here. Trust me.
Oh, no, no, absolutely. I'm trying to specify because I didn't see PlayStation announce it or anything like that. I
I'm
just,
not a journalist. I can talk about rumors all I want.
fuck yeah, we can.
And
Fuck yeah, we
I'm
can.
gonna. Okay, so let's read this real quick. In a change, the company will be led by two CEOs. This is by Victoria Kennedy from Eurogamer. Sony has announced who will replace Jim Ryan. Will be led by two CEOs with Herman Hulst and Hideki Nishino, both stepping into new leadership positions. Holst will serve as CEO of the Studio Business Group. Sony announced in a message to staff from interim CEO Hiroki Totoki, "Bye bye, go back to your big building. See ya. Leave us alone. We'll let these two guys talk to you and not have to worry about you anymore." Nishino will meanwhile be appointed CEO of the company's platform business group. The two will take up their new roles on June 1st when Chairman Totoki will step away from his position. Thank you. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. Anyways, in his new, sorry guys, I do not like bean counters being in positions over things that I absolutely love. I hate bean counters. They are the people who make my job the most miserable ever. They're the reason why your or not your HR, but they're the reason why your company has policies like you have to clock out for this many times on this many because they don't want to fucking pay you for the time that you're at. Anyways, God, I hate bean counters. Holst has served as head of the PlayStation Studios and previously led developer Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla was acquired in 2005 by Sony. Since then, the studio has become best known for its work on the Horizon series. "I am thrilled to lead the studio business group and continue to build on our success with PlayStation 5 while preparing for the future," Holst said in a statement. Thanks to GamesIndustry.biz. That's the other one that I was gonna read that one, but I really like the way Eurogamer does their articles. The video game industry is one of the largest entertainment industries in the world and has been built on the marriage of content and technology, and I look forward to continuing to push the boundaries of play and entertainment. Fantastic, guys. So, before I read the next paragraph, and let me scroll up a bit, this right here is where I'm about to read, talking about Nishino's role. But before I read that, I absolutely love that Herman Holst, one, used to be the head of the studios. He already did that shit. Like he was he was already
Yeah.
head of the studios. Now
He knows what it takes.
he's head of all the motherfuckers. He gets to, like, we'll find out a little later in the article, but he's going to get to decide like what ventures they go into, what games get greenlit fully. Like it's going to be awesome. But listen to what he says. "The video game industry is one of the largest entertainment industries in the world and has been built on the marriage of content and technology." Okay? Content and technology. So, I'm not too excited about this per se, but it does point to the fact that he has bought in to what Sony is trying to do and why they have two CEOs. Because, reading further, Nishino, meanwhile, was previously SVP of Sony's Platform Experience Group. Sony's Platform Experience Group, the way people interact with their tech. Okay? He will continue to oversee technology, products, services, and platform experiences as his new role as CEO of the company's platform business. In addition, he will also oversee third-party publisher and developer relations and commercial operations. This will include sales and marketing of hardware, services, and peripherals, Totoki said. "We will continue to connect players and creators through world-class products, services, and technology." So they have this two-headed approach of content and tech. Content and tech.
Hey, Thrifty, can I squeeze in there real quick?
Absolutely.
I just want to give you a quick little scenario. Let's say I'm Herman and you're what's his name? Takoshi?
No, it is Nishino. It
No,
is Hideki
Nashin
Nishino.
Hideki Machine. Okay, Hideki. And let's say I'm Herman. I knock on your door. Hey, Hideki. Well, I'm sorry, Hideki.
Yeah, Hideki.
Hey, Hideki. I got Naughty Dog, doing this new IP, and you got that PS5 Pro coming out. What can you tell me about it so we can maybe get it to 4K 120 or 4K
Huh.
60? Or what features can, tell me about that so I can relay the information to my team out here to create the next gen game that's going to push the console the next level. All right, have a seat. Like those are the type of conversations that I'm thinking they're gonna be having, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus you have one CEO who now has to get information from one advisor to the other advisor to the other advisor. Information gets lost between middlemen all the time.
It's just two swinging dicks sitting in a room at that point. Like,
Exactly. And they both have the power to say yes and yes, or no
yeah,
and no, or yes and no, and let's talk about you convinced me, you didn't, but here's why I don't say we should. and you're like, you're right, that's a bad idea. It's just makes so much more sense.
It's
Sorry to cut you
so
off.
no, you're fine. It's so genius this approach because think about it this way. Herman Hulst walks in, buttons undone, because even in his presentation video, or not the video, even in the screenshots that Sony used, dude has his shirt unbuttoned. I find
He's a
it
player.
freaking hilarious that this dude is about to be walking around, no suit, no tie, shirt unbuttoned. It's gonna be hilarious. Anyways, I think that's why I like him. Anyways, he's the most non-CEO CEO I've ever seen, and that's really
Yeah.
cool. But think about it this way: he comes in and goes, "Hey, Horizon is working on the third title. We have the multiplayer game that's about to launch. No big deal there. Third title, PS6, launch title for it. What specs am I looking at?" And then Hideki looks at him and goes, "Well, Herman, what specs do you need?" He goes, "I want 4K, 120 frames per second, locked. No modes, no nothing. It's 4K, 120." And Hideki looks at him and goes, "Herman, that is a great goal." That's probably not going to happen. And they have the ability, one has the ability to push the other, and the other one has the ability to keep the other one in a bit of reality. Does that make sense? Like Herman
Oh yeah.
Hulst gets to take what these studios say and goes, "Hey, listen, all of our first party devs, here's what they want. They want 4K at 120. They know the TVs can do it. They know the tech is out there on that side. We want to take advantage of that, and we really want to reach for the stars and do that." And then Hideki has the ability to go, "Well, okay, so Herman, here's the deal. If we did that, we would literally have to be using the most top end GPUs and the most top end CPUs, and we just can't do that. We would have to sell the PlayStation for $1,000 or $1,200, and that's just not going to work. It's not going to fit our strategy. How about I give you 4K at 60?" And like they both, one is going to push one and the other one is going to help kind of tone back the other one on at least that side of it, I think. But I also have this picture in my head of, Nishino coming in and going, "Hey, Herman, I need to know what our devs want. What are you hearing? Every day when you're talking to the
Dude,
studios, what are you hearing?"
it's literally peanut butter and jelly because you can't do one without the
It
other.
literally
You
is.
just can't. So it's like let's just say they're not professionals and they have no choice but to work together because the software needs the hardware needs the software, right? So it's not even, I mean, and on top of that, now we're splitting responsibilities. So oh man, I don't want to screw up his name again, but
Hideki.
the
Hideki.
Hideki, he's going to be working, out of the Asia office. Herman will be out of Europe. They'll be able to cover way more ground when they go on their tours every year through all the studios, see what they're working on. It just makes so much more sense. It makes it so much more of a work-life balance, I would assume, right? And the most important thing of all, it gives them the opportunity to work together to create something that's gonna, because if they hit a home run with this, they're both getting a benefit hugely.
Oh, yeah.
Because now we have the hardware that runs the incredible software, or the incredible software is being run because of the incredible hardware.
Hmm. And so I'm super excited about this. Once again, we're not going to spend, I think we spent like 12, 15 minutes on that topic. Don't want to get too held up on suits. We have games to talk about. And so, with that being said, I do want to kind of talk about the video games. Congratulations to Hideki Nishino and to Herman Holst. I think that y'all have earned it, especially if Hideki had any hand in the PS5 and its implementation and its marketing. I think y'all did a phenomenal job. I still remember the marketing material for the DualSense controller, where it was inside those beads that when the DualSense went off, it moved the white beads and you saw the blue ones underneath. Um, what about, hang on, Jenna
Oh,
Hayes? I haven't seen that name in here before. How are you? 30PS Gamer, what about Mark Cerny? Everything is about Mark Cerny. everything. Because if you don't think Hideki is gonna have Mark Cerny on freaking speed dial or doesn't have him there already,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
the dude where he's like, hey, listen, Herman just came in my office. He asked for all this shit. I told him it wasn't possible. Is it possible? And that's when Cerny just goes, "Give me 20 minutes," and hangs up and calls him
yeah,
back.
right.
It's like,
I
so
just picture Cerny being the type of guy where they come to him with a very complicated question and he pulls out his phone and they're like, "Are you calculating on your phone?" And he's like, "No, I already had the answer. I'm just ordering lunch."
yeah.
Like that's what I see Cerny as, you know?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I see Sony doing. All right. So I am absolutely loving all of the news from this week. Square Enix is trying to get their shit together. PlayStation has put in leadership that I actually agree with and believe in. I felt like Jim Ryan's hire was always a head scratcher. I think he did fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He also did some boneheaded shit, but I think he did fantastic overall. He led the PlayStation into such a great era. And so I I was off about actually I wasn't. When I first heard that they were getting a European to do it and that European was more business than game, I kind of freaked out a bit. Even back in the day, I was like, oh God, what does this mean? Is Sony screwed? Is PlayStation screwed? And then we all know the rest is history. It's been the most successful of anything that has ever happened for them with the PS. Well, not for them, sorry. It's been the second most successful thing that's ever happened with them. Uh, Macho Man Herman Hulst, what's up? Oh, I thought that was. Whoops. Nelson Gaming Culture, Jenna Hayes. Who the heck is Jenna? What are you talking about? Okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on from that because yeah. Welcome to the playground, Jenna Hayes. That's right. I don't know who the hell that is, but we'll move on. So, Hellblade 2. Holy shit. So, I want to give a quick timeline of this. We'll jump in whenever the hell you want on this one. So, the quick timeline, we get a reveal trailer, we don't hear a damn thing. We get another trailer, we don't hear nothing. Then we get what they call gameplay, and then nothing. And then after that, we get one final trailer, and everybody starts talking about it and hyping this game up, and then details start coming out. It's going to be about the same length as the first one. It's going to be a heavy cinematic experience. It's not going to be 60 frames per second on the Xbox because of cinematic choices. But if you want to play at 60 frames per second, that is not locked on the PC. You can actually force it to do more. It has the option to do more. Then it was said, damn, Hellblade is releasing in 3 weeks. Where the hell is all the marketing for it? What's going on? And then Xbox puts a post out that says Hellblade 2 marketing in full force starting soon. And then they make a few Twitter posts and that's about it. So now everybody's chomping at the bit for reviews. What is the game like? Because it's up in the air right now. Xbox did the worst fucking thing they could have done, and Wooly and I actually got to talk about this on the Saltiest Gaming podcast, one of our last episodes I think that we had done, and he had made the comment that he felt like because of Starfield's failures that the next game that was going to get too much hype put on it and be crushed by the weight of that hype was going to be Hellblade 2. And at the time, he was nervous that Ninja Theory wouldn't be able to sustain that level of failure or disappointment from the fans. So, move on forward to today. Today we found out that the sorry, it's really comical because we've seen this shit two other times. We found out that the review embargo is not until 1 hour before the game drops. If y'all remember correctly, Starfield did the same shit. Except Starfield was the day that the pre-release bonus early access went live. That was the day that people could do their reviews. And so you had major channels like AJS going, guys, We would have loved to have a review up for you, but it's going to take a while now. And it did. They didn't release theirs for like a week or two after because they were really trying to give the game a fair shake. You had other people saying the same thing, Game Ranks, Gaming Bolt, even. Like, all of these big channels that normally get these games super early. Some channels had gotten Final Fantasy VII Rebirth a month early. Like, because they were confident in the game. And so now we are seeing 1 hour before drop. Guys, hit that like button. I know that Josh in the chat is doing his very best to hype it up. Please hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Share this out to social media. But, anyways, that's my third call to action. I won't do another one until the very end. Anyways, so you have all of these things, right? You have all of this shit. They're only showing us the same portions of the game. They're showing us what they call gameplay, but is it gameplay? Is it not gameplay? Now you're getting, where the hell is the marketing? The marketing's coming. Where is the marketing? The marketing's here, but why is it only a few tweets and a couple? Like, I haven't even seen a fucking commercial for it. And I don't know what is going through their heads. I don't know if their benchmark for this game is only to sell like 1 million units or 750,000 units because it's a smaller title. I don't know what their benchmark is, and I'm not going to pretend to here. I don't have any sources. I don't have anything like that saying, oh, well, it's a lower key title. They know it's a lower key title. Internal expectations are set as such. I don't know that. I know that from what I see on X, which God, it's a rotting cesspool. But from what I see on X, it's the game of the generation, the game that's going to turn it around for Xbox. And what Xbox's marketing is telling me is the same thing it told me about Starfield and the same thing it told me about Redfall. This game is not what people are wanting it to be. Not that the game is not what the developers intended, not that it's not going to be gorgeous, not that it's not going to play well or look good or be intriguing or exciting, but it's not going to be what the fans have asked for and what the fans have pushed their expectations to be. Now, those fan expectations have happened because Xbox has given them shit after shit after shit after shit after shit. Oh, they had Hi-Fi Rush before all of that, and then they just shut down the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush. So, I'm super leery of this game. I said before that Starfield didn't pass the smell test. It didn't make any sense why they're not letting people play it early. It didn't make any sense why they were not why they were marketing it to PC first, I'm sorry, to Samsung TVs first, PC second, and then Xbox third. Why is the Xbox not getting proper treatment here? And it was because the game wasn't ready for the Xbox. It was shit. Glitchy, loading screens, didn't play right, didn't work right, visual bugs all throughout the whole thing, and like it just wasn't good. You had tiles, you had all this other stuff, and so the narrative behind Starfield was you were going to get to explore everywhere, and it was this big open thing, and you could be out in space, and you could be your own astronaut, and do all this, and you could be Captain Picard of the USS Enterprise. And what it turned out to be was every other quote unquote open-ish world game where you go on these tiles and that's the place you can explore and each one is like its own separate area and blah blah blah. It wasn't full planets and it wasn't all that. So they had to conceal that for as long as they could. My question here is what is Xbox concealing about Hellblade 2? And I watched Maddie's video on it yesterday, and one of the things that he said in there sounded like could be logic and it could be straight capping. Okay? So here's what he said. He said that he thinks they're not doing any additional marketing for the game because of the fact that they've already shown it's an 8 to 12 hour game, and they've already shown quite a bit of cutscenes and things like that. So they're not wanting to do a lot more marketing for it because it's not. They don't want to reveal too much of the game, which in some respects,
I don't buy that.
well, so neither. This is why I said it's
I
either
don't buy
he's
that
either
at all,
right
bro.
or it's cope. But here's
You
the
can
deal.
do 2 minutes a trailer of straight up gameplay. No, nobody talking, no nothing, just straight up gameplay. Match it to the music, and bam, get people hyped. I don't buy that.
Yeah, so yes, but then I started thinking about movies. And you think about a movie, right? And I have gone, and comedy films are worse about this, but um, I've gone to a movie and I have watched all the trailers for it, and they'll have like 5 or 6 different trailers for the movie. And when you get there, it all the funny parts of the movie were in the trailer. So like they didn't hit, it wasn't as good. You already knew that you've already seen that trailer a million times. 5-minute YouTube trailer was put up today. No. No. Hang on. Hang on. We have the technology now. Give me a second.
Yeah, I downloaded I actually turned on my Xbox today. I purchased the new game, guys. I'm
Ooh,
excited. It's
what'd
a
you get?
360 game. I got gosh, what's the name? Once I bring up the game, but it's a shooter. It reminds me a lot of how Binary Domain. It reminds me a lot of like shoot and move, like Gears of War kind of deal, where you're behind cover. And I saw that Starfield got the new patch. So I downloaded the patch. I turned Starfield on while Binary Domain was downloading. And yeah, it looks the fucking same to me, dude. I see no fucking difference at all. Like, but maybe I didn't play it long enough. So maybe that's a me thing. But then also Hellblade 2 started to pre-download because it comes out next week Tuesday.
Wait, how
And
did it pre-download?
because we got Game Pass.
You have Game Pass.
Well, that's what I'm getting to get to.
Go ahead.
So last week, my son wanted to play that crab game that just came out. That's like a Souls game. And I tried telling him, like, dude, this is a hard game. Like, you're not gonna like it. It's because it's a crab game. It's gonna be all, Disney. I'm like, nope. So the crab game was $30. I didn't want to buy it. And I said, you know what? Hellblade comes out in 2 week in next week. I'm gonna do exactly what Xbox wants me to do. Because my original intent with Hellblade was I was gonna buy it, but then there's no physical. So then that went out the window, and I'm not gonna buy a digital game. So my son brought this up, and I was like, you know what? I will pay the $16 for the month of Game Pass. You can check out the game that you like, which he quit after 5 minutes, and then I will play Hellblade. And by the time I'm done with it, my month subscription will be up. And today, Hellblade 2 started to pre-download and it's 40 gigs, which kind of took me back a little bit because if they're talking about how it is so graphically intense and all that, I'm like, well, shouldn't it be more than 40 gigs? And from that, the head scratchers started coming in, and then you hear all the information and news that have been coming out about Hellblade. And then you remember, oh, it's Xbox being Xbox. They did Redfall because they were impatient. They held Hi-Fi Rush for God knows how many years because they didn't quote unquote know the timing of when to release it. Maybe 2022 we didn't have any fucking games. Halo features missing, not a complete game. We were told that there was going to be more to the campaign. Nothing's happened. You got Forza, which is feature incomplete as well. You have Starfield, and now you have Hellblade. How is this going to be any different than everything that we've seen? At the beginning or towards the middle or towards the end of last year, remember Thrifty when we were talking about how people were getting nervous about PlayStation, and I was like, dude, stop, you guys are crazy. But you, Nelson, were some that were like, I'm a little iffy. They really haven't announced anything. We don't have really anything coming. And then like a week after that, they announced Stellar Blade, Hell Divers, and a couple other things that were coming at the beginning of the year. And the one thing that my argument at the time was justifying why I think we were going to be okay. And my argument at the time was the reason that I'm okay with how things are going so far is because I am going based off PlayStation's history this gen. PlayStation has not let us dry or without something to gain all gen. This PS5 generation, we have always had something to play, whether it's a first party game or third party game. It doesn't matter, or second party game. We've always had something to game. Until PlayStation shows me otherwise, I'm going to
Hmm.
give them the benefit of the doubt,
Yep.
right? Once they do something that's that benefit of the doubt is gone and they have to start from scratch. They build that up, a situation comes around, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because they've been proven they've been working, right? And that was my argument at the time. You guys kind of agree with me. We got, oh, I'm still no, and then bam, we got it, right? Done deal.
Hmm.
With Xbox, I'm gonna treat Helldivers like I'm gonna treat PlayStation. They're not getting the benefit of the doubt from me. I'm gonna treat them like Helldivers gonna be complete ass because that's all they've been showing me. There
You mean
is no
Hellblade?
goodwill. Or Hellblade, I'm sorry, Hellblade 2. There is no goodwill with Xbox. They haven't showed me anything. Remember, the box that eats the monsters, right? We haven't seen anything from Xbox. And guess what? I hope Hellblade 2 is a great game. I really do. Because I do not see the benefit of it being a bad game. What? For console warring? Or just to say that, look at Xbox failed again? They've already failed enough. Give me a good game. At the beginning of the show, I talked about how I'm kind of in a lull right now and I'm kind of playing a little bit of everything. I hope Hellblade is the game that I stick with and I want to beat. I need that right now. I want it to be a good game. I hope that the graphics are phenomenal. I hope the story is great. I hope the combat is great. I hope it's a good game. I want to sink my teeth into it. And guess what? When it comes to PS5, if it's a good game, I'm going to pre-order it physically. I'll
Hmm.
be right there. But they have to show me this. I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt like I do PlayStation because PlayStation has shown me that they're responsible about giving us games. They're responsible about their business. They know what it takes to run their business. And in order to run their business how they want to is by coming out with good products. And then next thing you know, we get Herman and his colleague getting promoted to CEO and co-CEO, and one is hardware, one is software, and now you're just adding more to the pot of goodwill and things that make sense and good
Yeah.
ideas. And look,
Yeah.
not everything PlayStation has been doing is awesome, right? As you guys know, I've been against the whole Helldivers. Um, we have to pay for PS Plus and PC doesn't. That's not fair kind of bandwagon, right? I don't like that at all. I don't like that when they put these games on PC, they already are giving it to them for $10 cheaper than we have to pay, right? I don't like that either. So I'm not trying to sugar or say that Sony's doing everything correctly because they're not, but they're doing way more than any of the competition is doing. And I'm happy with my purchase. I'm happy with, look, right now I'm gaming on Killzone with my DualSense Edge. I bought this last year when it first came out. I haven't used any other controller. I'm super satisfied. I also have the Xbox Elite for Xbox. I gave them a chance. I don't like their controller. So they're doing things that I like and I dislike. But as far as gaming goes and what we here at the
Comes out next
playground
week
like to
Tuesday.
do, which is play
And
video
how did it
games,
pre-down?
we have been very well maintained. I haven't used any other controller. I'm super satisfied. I
Yeah, and since January, I haven't. Well, since the end of December, beginning of January, when they released their full slate, I told y'all I am not going to doubt Sony again for a while until they give me a reason. Because I did go through that where I was like, this doesn't look good. I want to know where my games are, blah 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 blah. And then they release all of this information that tells us the next 4 months, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm hyped about that one, that one, that one, and that one. This is great.
Oh, hey, Thrifty, remember when we said without even saying anything, PlayStation did the first quarter of this year what Xbox goal has been for the last how many years of releasing a game per quarter? PlayStation did that on accident.
Yeah.
On accident.
So there's a post that I think it was Porter Rock. I think somebody shared in the Discord. Might have been you. Um, that was like Xbox or PlayStation sells in 5 weeks what Xbox sells in the entire quarter.
Yeah,
I was like,
sad man.
damn, that's insane. Because now it's like a 1 to 5 or 5 to 1 ratio, and like it's just so bad. Um, So yeah, Hellblade 2 does not pass the smell test. There is no goodwill at for me for that game whatsoever. I feel bad for I don't actually. Fuck that. I don't feel bad for the Xbox players anymore. I really don't. I did at
No,
one point,
no,
but they
no.
have given y'all so many
They're part of the
signals.
problem. They're part of the
Yes.
problem.
Also, Josh in the chat is pointing out that the other CEO's name is Hideki.
Hideki.
Hideki. So there used to be a baseball player with the first name of Hideki. I think it was Hideki Matsui. I think. Let me see. Baseball player with first name Hideki. Hang on.
Hideki Matsui.
Yeah, Hideki Matsui. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's a
so
beast.
that's how I know that name and
Dude,
how to read
Japan
it.
produces good ass ball
They
players.
really do. But so that's why when I read that name, I was like, finally, a name that I've recognized and can actually read. I was so happy. But so Hellblade 2 did get 5 minutes of a story so far thing, and it's a full cinematic. It looks all cinematic. It is literally panning uh, into artwork and out of artwork and into artwork and out of artwork, and that's pretty much it. So I was gonna show it to y'all, but that's there's no reason. It's literally just artwork coming in and out. So, no. That's not happening. Okay, just wait. I have a feeling the showcase is going to be fire. I do too.
Wait, they announced a showcase?
No, but it's speculated for this week.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if
yeah,
not
yeah.
this
Okay.
week, next week. If not next week, the week after. If not that, it's we're in that cycle now
Yeah,
of
we're in that
yeah,
season.
we're in we're in that season of surely they have to say something,
Well, we
and
said that, remember the last time was 16 months or something like that before they even said
yeah.
anything. And I was
Uh,
disappointed. People love that. I was pissed.
Team Moo Cow. Okay, I don't know what that means. Just rolled credits on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, that is so awesome. Two pad stacks. I cannot wait. I am in Cosmo Canyon right now, and I am about to. I hope to be able to get some more Stellar Blade in this week. I like to get a lot of gaming time in on my on-call weeks because I usually wake up at 9. I'll play a couple hours each day until 11. I'll
Yeah, kids are at school, right? So you
kids are
got
at
you got some
school. I get some uninterrupted gaming time. Um, let's see. Twisted Sin said Ninja Theory might be or watch Ninja Theory be on the chopping block next, dude. I wouldn't put it past it. It's
no.
so here's the deal. That is the craziest stuff, and that's the thing. First, let's talk about more video games. So Ubisoft announced Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is Assassin's Creed Red. Okay, uh, and let me see if I can't get this to play because I do want to watch this one. So let me see if I can't take this thing full screen for us. Okay, there's that. Guys, I am trying to figure out how to get the bottom of the screen not to cut off on here. I'll probably have Jez or Nate kind of help me with that, but right now it is what it is, and I'm going to go ahead and play this now, and so we can watch this. So let's go. Hopefully it pulls up. And where's the sound? Here's the
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs. My family. Burns in the name of unification.
You are still a frog in a well.
who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed. Power. Vengeance.
And you? Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path, beyond what we see?
And we must look for it. Together. We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
And follow the blade.
This game looks fucking sick. I know it's a cinematic.
Oh, you're not the only one, Frizzy.
I said, who do you serve?
We are the shadows.
That served the light.
Oh, that's fucking sick. Okay. So. Okay, now hang on, because I like to read the bottom here. I know y'all can't see it. All rights reserved. Blah 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 blah. Hang on. Let me see if there's anything else on here. Okay. So that's gonna try to play again now. Why is that playing again? Okay. So here we go. That game looks freaking sick. Alright, that game actually looks absolutely stunning and amazing, at least from what I've seen. Now,
The
somebody in the
CGI looks amazing.
the CGI looks really good. Now, somebody said something in the chat that the racists are coming out of the woodwork. I asked why, because I don't look at a video game and automatically think of social issues. I try not to, at least. So, why am I hearing myself? Why am I... Oh, that was because of my phone. Whoops. Okay, so apparently people are mad that there is a black samurai. So let me do a quick Google search. Were there black samurais? Let's see. Claim that Afro Samurai franchise is based on Yasuki, a 2017 video game. KKK. Who was Japan's first black samurai? Though Yasuki was the only black samurai in Nagabangu's army, he was by no means the only African present in Japan at the time. Those people can get fucked in the backside. Anyways, that's exactly what I'll say. If so,
Well,
here's
just to give a little bit more of the full picture. So one side is exactly what you just read. The other side is saying that that information you just read is basically written by people with an agenda, and the evidence isn't really there, and there was only one black samurai, and he was used as like a showpiece. So that's the two sides of the discussion, just to give you guys a little bit more context.
gotcha. So listen, at some point I have to look at the Smithsonian and go, you know what? Those guys have studied history. They might know a thing or two. And
Dude, I just don't give a fuck. It's a video
I
game,
don't either.
dude. If it's an alien, like come on, like what? I just
Listen,
don't get it. But either
I
way,
I played all of Horizon Zero Dawn. If nobody's played the game, cover your ears. In 3, 2, 1. I played all of Horizon Zero Dawn as a clone of somebody from the past. Like,
yeah,
okay, who gives a shit? Like,
yeah, right, exactly.
now, here's the thing. People are going to blow that out of proportion. I don't give a rat's ass. The story beats that they hit in that game and in that trailer absolutely have me hyped. Now, there's two reasons why I don't necessarily think it's going to be a day one for me, even though, as I'm saying that, Sony better come with some heat, because if not, that will probably be a day one purchase for me, because I love samurai games. I love the piece. I trust Ubisoft to do period pieces very well. Uh, Even if I think that the story is lacking sometimes in the real world Assassin's Creed franchise, if I go into it and go, okay, this isn't Assassin's Creed, this is a game from Ubisoft called Shadows that's set in the samurai era, cool. Uh, it's the reason why I was able to play as much as I did in the Viking one.
Valhalla
Thank you. Because I didn't look at it as an Assassin's Creed game because it wasn't. It was a period piece for Viking lore that had.
action adventure game.
Right, that's all it was. They haven't been Assassin's Creed games to me since Black Flag. Oh, sorry, Syndicate. Um, but I think this game has the potential to actually be a massive, massive success for Ubisoft. Now,
Hmm.
there's a downside though. This is the company that said we place or gamers need to be okay not owning their games.
Yep.
And Will, you posted into the Discord earlier, it's online only. So you said you were probably going to be out on it because you didn't want online
Oh
only.
no, I am out on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You okay? You are
I'm
out
never
on it.
gonna give Ubisoft any of my money ever again. Not
Okay.
directly, at least.
So let me ask you this: you a month after the game comes out, you find the game at a used store. You're not giving Ubisoft any money. It's
Well, that's what I meant.
$35. Do you pick it up?
Not directly. So they'll never get. And I buy my games brand new. The only games that I buy
Oh,
used are
okay.
games that are old that I just never heard of or never played or never got around to it. But
See,
I buy 90% of my games brand new because my intent is to play them right away.
mm,
But with Ubisoft, I will never ever pay retail for one of their games, and I will never buy something, even if it's $10 at the store, because they still get a cut of that. The way that I will be playing this game is from somebody who got the game, beat it, or don't like it and want to get rid of it. I'll give him what he's asking for it, and I'll get it. And that's
mm,
even if I get it.
yeah,
And that
and
started since Star Wars Outlaws. And the main
yeah,
reason is because it's the always online and the just they don't give a fuck about you as a gamer. They told you
they
that you should
told you
not
that.
own your shit. They don't like you. So I'm not gonna be with people who don't like me.
But they like your money.
Oh, of course.
They,
But no, I'm not. I work hard for my money, dude. I work fucking close to 50 some hours a week.
I
I'm
feel you.
not going to give them that. There's too many games out here. And so what? I miss out a little bit. I miss out on the conversation. I don't care. I stand behind my principles. I'm not shitting on anybody who is, by the way. This is just my personal take. Some guys on our Discord are buying the collector's edition, which I think the statues are pretty cool. And I'm excited for them. I want to see pictures when they get it and shit, right? But these are just my opinions, and that's what I'm gonna stand on.
Yeah, and I support you in your position. I really do. There are a few studios that I have that kind of outlook on, um, where I wait for their stuff. One of them is EA, because generally we get the EA games for free eventually, anyways. Um, but also, somebody said in the chat they talked about buying it on deep discount, which for Ubisoft means just waiting a few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks,
Like,
literally.
you'll get a you'll get a deep discount, and then a few months later you'll get a free trial weekend, and then after that you'll get a 45% discount on the collector deluxe bullshit digital edition. And like Ubisoft does this, but one of the things that I think really excites me about this is once I see or one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing about this is the gameplay. I want to know what style they're doing this in. Are they doing
Well,
this
dude, that's the
in?
thing that's been tripping me out because this is typical Ubisoft, bro. They don't even drop gameplay; they just drop CGI. And when they drop CGI, like they did today, they immediately drop pre-orders and then release date. And then
Hmm.
in a couple weeks or maybe a month later, because this game is still about 6 months out, then they'll drop a gameplay trailer. And I'm like,
Hmm.
we talk about this in the industry all the time, right? We complain about, MTX, we complain about just all sorts of shit. But yet we are giving them the money without even knowing what if it's a side scroller? We don't know that you know and once again, I'm not trying to shame anybody. Of course, your money, you spend it how you see fit. I'm just some random guy on YouTube talking about games, right? Don't ever take what I'm saying personal. But I'm just like, guys, come on. We try to make a change as much as we can because we really don't have much power, right? These journalists don't speak on our behalf, they speak on their own, right? Whatever's profitable for them. We know that there is a tax of some kind, whether it's an Xbox tax or PlayStation tax. What I'm trying to say is they always play to one side. Their opinions are with the wind, whatever is flowing to whatever side. And I'm like, the one thing that we actually do have control is what games we buy and how we spend our money. And fuck, we even all joke about it, right? Don't go full Ubisoft.
Never go
But
full.
then they come out with something like this, and Mirage is when it really started to hit me. I was like, well, wait a minute, this is all CGI. And they were sold out of the collector's edition in the first freaking like 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, okay. So then it's very hard if we can't even take ourselves serious. How are we gonna expect these developers and publishers to take us serious?
Okay, so Warawana just hit the $2. He said, "My hands are tied on AC games. The missus needs them." You know what? Here's the deal. I have a son right now, so I get it. He's playing Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. He plays it on his Switch any chance he gets. He absolutely, and he is freaking creative in that game. Holy shit balls. I baffled by like he'll come out and he'll go, "Dad, look at this. I just built a whole nother level to my house and it has these gates on it and drawbridges to protect me from the things that come out at night and it's all this really cool stuff." And da-da-da. I'm like, "Dude, that's really awesome. Have you been working on that like since you started playing?" He goes, "No, I just did that in my bedroom." I was like, "You did that today?" And so like I get it. When we have family members, significant others, children who play certain games of by companies that we don't necessarily support. I hate the fact that my son loves Minecraft. It bothers me to my core. The other day he came and asked, "Hey dad, can I buy this pack so I can get?" I said, "Absolutely not." And then I explained to him how these games really get your money. And he goes, "That doesn't." He goes, "Dad, that sounds pretty bad." I was like, "Yeah, it is. They put some of these things behind a money wall to make
Mm-hmm.
you pay for them to be able
Paywall.
to enjoy that feature or that
Oh, Tiffy, can I
item."
say one more thing? I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, go
I just
ahead.
don't want to forget. And another, real quick, guys, I like Ubisoft games. I'm actually one, like Nelson's always shitting on me about Ubisoft games. I was the one who told him that I really like Valhalla and I played it like 2 times. And he's like, "You're crazy." Like Nelson accuses me of liking too many games. So I defend Valhalla, right? I even bought Avatar, which was another one I didn't know was online till like freaking bought it, right? But I like their games. It's that if I can pick like a top five, Ubisoft will be in my top five, FYI. So I don't want you guys to take this wrong, or once again, and also I don't want you to feel like I'm accusing you or shaming you. None of that crap. I'm not doing that at all. But I just want you guys to know that because I think a couple people may be like, wait a minute, what the fuck? No, yeah, I love their games actually, and I love Assassin's Creed.
So I'm responding to somebody in the chat who talked about Ace Combat. And dear God,
Oh, I love
I
Ace
need
Combat.
Project Aces to get off their aces and get this shit done. I know for a fact that they've been working on it, but that's the last information we got, and that was from about a year and a half ago. I need to know what's going on with that game. Um, so yeah, Ubisoft is I'm in a tough position with Ubisoft. I hate their practices. I also am not a huge fan of their games that they've been releasing. They're major AAA games. They're major big budget games. I'm not a huge fan of them. Not as of late. I think Far Cry 6 was not a fan of it. Far Cry 5, I think the story was great, but the game was over bloated. Far Cry 4 was boring as hell, and Far Cry 3 was absolute epic. I think that when you talk about the Assassin's Creed franchise, you have Syndicate, which came out with a really shitty launch, and then after they fixed it, the game was amazing. I love Syndicate. I loved playing as Jacob and Evie in Syndicate. I thought it was so fun. And then they said, hey, Syndicate didn't sell well. We're rebooting the series. We're going to go a different direction with the combat and all that. They gave us Origins. Origins, I thought, was a beautiful launching point to explain the full history of the assassins and kind of start back from square one of the hidden ones. Thought it was amazing. Then Odyssey came out, and the Odyssey story was so badly told with the voice acting that I and like the character interactions that I couldn't get past it. Everything felt very I don't even know what word to use here, but everything felt in Odyssey very forced and unnatural. That's the best way I can describe it. When you heard Cassandra talking, it was not good. It just wasn't. And the story wasn't that great. The way they were trying to tie it in wasn't that great. It was just not a good game. And then you have Valhalla, and Valhalla was just a bloated mess to me.
No, it wasn't.
To me, it
Yes.
was a bloated mess.
So you
And
and Nelson.
well, and that's it's part of that is on me, and I will own my part in that. I don't know how not to try to do everything before I go to the next section. And in Valhalla, that's not a game that you want to say that to because it will
Nope.
go, all right, asshole, challenge accepted.
Yep.
You're going to
Yeah,
be
there's
in the
so much
first
little
you're going to be in the
like
first section for
gold.
40 hours.
There's gold marks on all over the map and silver, and I mean, there's so much shit in that game. Yeah, I
There's
mean,
stuff
look, I will admit there's a lot of shit. I'm not saying you're wrong, Thrifty, at all. You're right. But I always say it's like I'd rather have too much shit in my game than not enough. I mean, I spoke about this on the podcast a couple times where Spider-Man 2, I felt like if I could have just got like 5 more hours out of that game, I would have been satiated. But I just feel like, damn, there's a little bit more that I wish I was missing, and I hope hopefully they come out with a DLC and they add a little bit more to it. But I'm like, damn, I just feel like the game was just a tad bit short. By the time you really start to get the powers and the groove,
hmm
the game ends. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
It's very much and I'm different. I like a good balance. And I feel like a game that has done that recently in like a good balance setup has been and this is y'all gonna just call me a pony or whatever, but it's Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, I agree. Not
I
the rebirth,
think
but Stellar Blade, yes.
I think both of those have done very, very well in okay, you get to a new area, quests open up. You finish half of the storyline of the main quest, more side quest and missions open up. You can go do those. You can go have fun. You can explore the map. You're opening up fast travel points, so it's super easy to get those completed. I have used fast travel in Rebirth and in Stellar Blade more than I probably use them in any other game because I want to go complete the side quest because they add to the story, they add to the
Hey,
lore, they add to the game.
Thrifty, how many hours do you have in Stellar Blade right now? Do you know?
25. 20, no,
Okay.
22. 22.
So between 20 and 25, somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Um, I beat the game in Stellar Blade 45 hours, and I did all the side quests. There were still a couple outfits that I didn't get. But I did all the fishing. I got all the outfits. And I mean, no, I'm sorry, not all the outfits. I got like 30 some outfits, but I did do all the fishing. I did all the side quests, and it took me 45 hours. When I was done with Stellar Blade, like Spider-Man took me 40 hours on the dot, 40 hours. Stellar Blade 45 hours on the dot. When I finished Stellar Blade, I felt satiated. I felt good. Not just that. but then I knew that I can do New Game Plus right away and finish getting the rest of the outfits. So and then also get the
Because it
other
was available day
stuff
one.
because available day one.
Day
And
one.
I chose not to because I didn't want to like I it's like your favorite meal, like you're kind of dreading the last bite because it's the last bite you won't have no more. Like that. That's how I'm seeing it. So I'm like, okay, when I go through a dry spell, I know that I'll have that New Game Plus. But that 5 hour difference, it felt very satiated, very balanced. I accomplished a lot. The game was difficult, especially towards the end, man. I was like, shit, I thought about bringing down the story mode, but I stuck with it. And it felt very good. And I think to me, that's kind of the sweet spot for like an open world game like Stellar Blade. And I think that game helped me figure it out exactly what I would like. Now going back to like Assassin's Creed, like Valhalla, right? Where the first playthrough was like 100, like 80, 90 hours. Second one, I kind of skipped a lot because I was just trying to get the story, and I have about 150 hours in there. But that first playthrough, it didn't feel like a lot because it was the beginning of the generation, so it wasn't like they're dropping games like how they are now. So it kept me entertained throughout that whole Christmas month, basically. So it felt just right. But as more games start to come out, I don't want to spend, 100 plus hours on a game unless I really love it. Like if they came out with a Horizon 3, I would want that game to be 100 hours, 200 hours, because I love the world. I just love everything about it. The lore, everything. So I guess it's different for different people. But the last thing I'll say before I pass it back to you is I'm the firm believer, just like even adding salt to my food. When my son's like, "Hey, Dad, can I get some salt to this egg?" Or did you add salt to the eggs? And I say no. It's like, well, we can always add some, but we can never take some out. Same thing with the game. You can always just say, "Well, I'm gonna do this," and skip the rest. But you don't want to be the situation with like Spider-Man for me, where I beat the game and I was like, "Damn, just a little bit more." That's the hard part.
So, and that's my main problem is I don't want to continue on in something without getting every single piece. Like, so all of my skill tree in Stellar Blade is almost full with what's available to me right now.
Hmm.
And even in the D&D that I play, even in my Magic the Gathering, even in video games, I like to min max. I I like to be the most powerful or best in my class, all the things. I want all the weapons. I want all the outfits. I want all the stuff. As long as I don't have to do, like, I don't like doing second playthroughs of games. I just don't. I don't like playing. I'd rather have more story than just play it again with your items. That's not super fun to me. I know tons of people enjoy it. That's why it was such a big deal that Stellar Blade gave it to you day one. But that's just not something I do. I think the only game I've done that with was Spider-Man. If I'm not mistaken, the only game I've played New Game Plus with was Spider-Man. I didn't do it with Miles and I didn't do it with Spider-Man 2. I just don't like it. I'd rather move on to a new title. But that being said, while I'm in the first playthrough, I want to grab everything. I was kicking myself in the rear end because on my second trip into the Wastelands, third trip into the Wastelands, I was trying to complete a quest and I got to this area and I was like, man, I've been here before. Why are there new? Did I miss it? Like I felt like I missed stuff the first time because I'd find these little boxes that had really awesome like uh, polymer in it or uh, good nanites or nanotech or whatever the hell it's called in the game. But like there were things that I had missed the first time going through. So going through again, I was able to grab them. Anyways, Stellar Blade, we've talked about it enough, but it's fantastic. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I don't know yet. I want to see gameplay. That trailer absolutely has me hyped for it, but I want to know time of completion also because bloated games are not my thing. Good example, I have 45 or 50 hours in Valhalla and I haven't made it out of England yet. Henry and I were talking about it last week. I haven't made it out of England yet. I have 60 hours in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm almost to the end of the game. I have Cosmo Canyon left to finish, and then if I remember the story correct, I'm pretty much almost to the end of where they're going to stop, which is awesome. I can't wait to finish that. But those games, oh, and it took me 91 hours to platinum God of War Ragnarok. So like that range, I am okay giving that much time to a game that I think is worth it. But
So
400,
question.
500, I can't do that.
So for well, you say you don't like second playthrough, but for you, chat, answer my question real quick. So some that happens to me is whenever I platinum a game, I almost lose all interest in it. Like I just don't have any desire to go back to it. Like I don't know, something about it. As soon as I get that platinum trophy, and mind you, I don't have like a lot. I got like 18 or 20 platinums. But whenever I get a platinum, I feel like I'm done with the game. I never go back to it. Maybe I do just to show somebody something, but I'm done with it. Does that happen to you too, or are you able to go back into a game you platinum and play it over again?
I'll be honest, I went back to God of War Ragnarok when they added the new mode.
Oh yeah, with they add new shit like a DLC. Yeah.
But as far as actually going back and playing the game for a full time through, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Huh. Huh. I don't
Because
know.
I think that a lot of
I
the
think I have.
bots will take like what you do, like your like how you play your games, your opinion, and then they'll try to say that, oh, these are Sony movie games, there's no value in it, which is completely wrong, right? That's just your play style, and I have my own, and we all have our own shit. A lot of guys, they like to beat a game and then they go back and only replay certain chapters, right? Or some guys, they even have modes where you can just watch all the cinematics, right? You beat the game, it unlocks all the cinematics. You just sit there and play the movie, and it just walks you through all the cinematics. A lot of people do that on YouTube, right? Where they don't even play the game. They're not even gamers. They just like the stories of the game, so they'll just sit there a compilation of all the cinematics and sit back for 4 hours and just watch it, right? So it's all different, right? There's no right or wrong answer for this. You play however much and however little you want to play. But it's interesting just to see how people gaming habits are because we always compare each other to other gamers and not just gaming, but in life in general. And it's just I love gaming, so it's very interesting to me to see how other people play the games and how much they input into it.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, there are people who have put tons of hours into games that I won't give the time of day to. Uh, and it is always interesting to look at the habits of some gamers over others, and we talk about it ad nauseum here, where you talk about it all the time, where gamers are completely different, right? You might have somebody who plays 2,000 hours in Destiny, but doesn't touch anything else. And then you have other gamers who never touch multiplayer games, and they only play those single player games or those story driven games or whatnot. So it's definitely different strokes for different folks. But I think if Ubisoft appealed to I think if they went back to their old style, even keeping the new combat and all that other stuff and all the quality of life stuff they put in there, that's fine.
Kind
But
of like Mirage.
I can't speak on that. I haven't played Mirage yet. But kind of like Syndicate. Syndicate, I felt like it had a ton of stuff to do, and it's but it was also very much self-contained, and I don't feel like they've had a game like that in a while. And like I said, I haven't played Mirage, so I don't know and I can't speak on that. And unlike folks who try to cap and say, "Oh yeah, I think Mirage is great," I don't fucking know because I ain't played it. But it's very much a game that I think, if done right, could be a game that Ubisoft looks at later on and goes, "Hey, we need to do that again." Because if y'all remember, Ubisoft, even though Valhalla sold pretty well, like it they were in trouble. Ubisoft was in financial. There was talk about them selling the company, and
I
I'm
mean, they
just
still are.
this.
They're still in the market.
There's
They just can't get somebody to, they got like 30,000 employees, bro. Ubisoft is huge, you know?
yeah, they and I think that when Ubisoft is good, the gaming industry is good, or the gaming industry is better for it. But we haven't seen that happen in a while. We haven't seen Ubisoft be good for a while. That's the problem. They haven't, and the games that they've been good on, in my opinion, haven't been commercial successes. I think Prince of Persia, I think that game should have done
Oh, that
way
game
better
is
than it
great.
did
That
because
game is
it was a
great.
fun game. It was awesome. It was action filled. It was flashy, like the colors they used, the way that popped when you did special moves, like all of that was really, really good. Uh, and so I just really enjoy I enjoy the possibility. Let's say that. And I know that that kind of sucks, but let's say that I enjoy the possibility of what could be from Assassin's Creed. And so it's um it's a game that I'm actually excited about. Josh in the chat said Mirage was good. He got the plat. Chad Stud depends on how difficult the plat was. That's true. Got the Suicide Squad plat. Did you really get the Suicide Squad plat? Holy crap. Josh, I think you play games at like supersonic speed. I think that's just what it is. Chips and Sticks, what's up, man? I didn't even see you come in here. James
Well, it's been about
William.
2 weeks. It's not that fast.
I mean, dude, but I don't know. I
Truthfully,
I
I
feel
mean,
like it was fast.
I mean, look, I finished Hellblade in a week and like 3 days, 10 days.
Yeah, see, that's just weird.
I, how's
It's,
that weird?
it's not
And I
weird.
got
I'm just not
everything.
used to that.
Well, the question is, what do you do when you get home?
Um,
Like when I get home, I cook dinner, help homework with my son, I chill with him, play with him a little bit, and then I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I want to play some games. All right, cool. Then I sit down and I play games. I get up, hey, buddy, it's time for showers, time for bed. You want a snack? All right, cool. Let's say a little prayer. Let's read a book, and then get back to the game for a couple hours. And then I go to bed. And that's every day. On the weekends, I do what I got to do. If we got an event, a social, I go on a date, whatever. My free time, instead of watching movies, I play games. And when you see gaming as like, I want to do it, you can get a lot of shit done.
so yes, when I get home, I usually get home around 6 o'clock. I shower, I come out, I eat my dinner, I sit. Usually about 7 o'clock at that point. I sit, me and my kids watch an episode of Dragon Ball Super, and then I get them in bed. Bedtime right now for us is a tooth and nail battle at our house with my 5-year-old. So usually he goes to sleep finally at around 8:30, 8:45. So we have to kind of work with him for about an hour to get him to go to sleep. It's really rough. Um, and then after that, it's usually 9 o'clock. And then I usually game from 9 to about 10:30 or 9 to 11. Uh, and the only nights I don't do that are the nights I have the live stream, which, by the way, guys, thank y'all for hanging out this late. It is super late. Will, I know you said you might have to go around 11:30. It is now 12:03. If you need to go, dude, I ain't got to be at work till noon tomorrow, so I can get some sleep in the morning. If you need to go, I fully understand. Um, but so that's why my gaming time is so minimal. And then on the weekends, my wife and I, we help out at a garden that we're co-oping with another family, growing our own vegetables, doing all that stuff. We have church on Sunday, and then I have Magic the Gathering every Friday night at my house. So I have about 8 to 12 hours a week to actually game, which is why, funny enough, 2 weeks into Stellar Blade, I'm at I'm sorry, I'm at like 21, 22 hours, somewhere in that range. And so, holy crap, Stephen Leone. or Leon. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Leon, Arcane Leon. Stephen Leon, thank you for the 10 gifted members. Chad Stud, James Williams, Byron Cutler, Abyss, Zero Steel, Slimy Mucus, El Nini. Dang, people just hiding out in the chat. Sea Fresh, Tony Dacey. Y'all have all been gifted members. Thank y'all so much. Steven, thank you. I am speechless. And that is actually a good segue. Let's talk about somebody who should be speechless but keeps opening their mouth. And that is Microsoft. I saved this for last because I didn't know if I was going to get to it tonight. But here it is.
Well,
Steven
before
with
you
the
do,
tin bomb.
oh, drop them bombs, boys. Have a good night, y'all. Thrifty. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, bro.
Hit the like and follow, guys, and add me on PSN at will777jp.com. Let's play some games. Have a good
Also,
night, guys.
on Twitter, you can follow him. His Twitter is in the description of the video. You can go check him out. Um, yes, please do that. Will, thanks for coming tonight. I know it's late. I appreciate you, dude. Have a good night, man. Okay, I do this for Jess. Well, listen, Steven, I appreciate it. I hope you did it some for me and some for the channel, but if you did it all for Jez, you know what? He doesn't get a commission. So, anyways, all right, let me go ahead and do something real quick. All right, there's that. All right, so let me do this because I'm only going to play a certain section of the interview because I don't care. See you, Will. Great talk. 100. Yes, Will is fan freaking tastic. Let me play this real quick because I really want to key in on why I think she is worse than Phil Spencer. Because she is better at her job than Phil Spencer. And that's actually worse for gaming. Look at this.
I think one of the things that was most upsetting both to Xbox gamers and to employees is that, one of the shuttered studios in particular just created a hit game, did really well on Game Pass in terms of engagement, and won a ton of awards. Shouldn't succeeding in that way ensure the future of a studio?
One of the things I really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form. And it means that
That's not answering the question.
the situation and what success is for each game and studio is also really unique. Like there's no one size fits all to it for us. And so we look at each studio, each game team, and we look at a whole variety of factors when we're faced with sort of making decisions and trade-offs like that. But it all comes back to our long-term commitment to the games we create, the devices we build, the services, and ensuring that we're setting ourselves up to be able to deliver on those promises.
Talking, further about growth.
Okay, that's the part I wanted to show. Now let's do a little bit of breakdown here. This is now going to turn into a Thoughts with Thrifty because Will had to go to bed. I fully understand that, but let's go.
Most upsetting both to
Go.
Xbox gamers and to employees is that, one of the shuttered studios in particular just created a hit game, did
So
really well
for
on
anybody who doesn't live terminally online and just comes here to watch the channel and support my channel or whatnot, she's talking about Tango Gameworks getting shut down after releasing a game that won awards, that was a great game, terms of engagement, all that stuff. Remember all that bullshit? Great engagement. It met every key metric that we care about. Now they're closed. So
Game Pass in terms of engagement and won a ton of awards. Shouldn't succeeding in that way ensure the future of a studio?
One of the things
Okay, so that face right there, if I was a mean person, that face would have been cropped out and put onto the thumbnail. But I'm not. And you see right here, one of the things I love about the games industry, okay, we didn't ask you what you love about the games industry.
really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form.
Yes, it is.
And it means that the situation and what success is for each game and studio is also really unique. Like there's
Okay, so right there, I don't need to continue because that right there is the line that told me, oh, this is bullshit. Here's the deal. by, by mean, be mean. Why not? Okay, so well because I try to play above board. I really do. I really, really try to play above board. Um, Most of the time. But here's the deal. If somebody looks at you in business and says, "Hey man, listen, success is measured differently across the board and it's first of all, it can't be differently and there's no one size fits." Okay, so in business, let me tell you how this works. If you are profitable for a company, they will keep you. If you're not profitable for a company, they will get rid of you. Okay? Business. Basic business. If I do not perform well at my job, my boss will cut me in the quickest fashion possible because I'm no longer an asset to the company. I am a oh, what's the word? There's a word in business. It's not drain, but it basically means you're instead of being an asset, you're a you basically there's producers and there's people who hit against the payroll, and I can't remember what they're called. Maybe somebody in chat can help me with that. Uh, but success, yes, success is a yes or no, not a sliding scale. Abs freaking lootly. It is a yes or no, not a sliding scale. That is 100% fact. I don't know if it's a liability. That's the word I was gonna go with, but it's so when I sold cars, which don't ever do that. It's terrible. But when I sold cars, uh, it's it was producers versus something, and I can't remember what it is. And it might be liability, but I don't. It wasn't that. It was like the people who worked in the office. They weren't producers. They were essentially drains on the resources. Uh, I was a producer. I made money for the company based off of how many cars I sold. And so, even in my job now, I am a technician in HVAC. So, if I go to a house and fix a system and that system cost $400 to fix, I produced $400 for the company. The dispatcher in the office, or not the dispatcher, the CSR in our office, she's not a producer. She doesn't produce money for the company. She drains on the resource. So, they're going to look at me as a producer to produce money for the company. If you're not producing money for the company, I'm going into Bill Cosby for some reason. If you're not producing money for the company, you get shut down. And that's what happens in business. There's not, like Josh said in the chat, it's not a sliding scale. It's not a sliding scale at all. Success and failure in video games is very clear cut and dry. Very clear cut and dry. What does it mean to be a success in video games? Your game made more money than it cost to produce. That's what success is. That's that is success in every form of entertainment, period. If so right now with my channel, with the business, with my wife's business and her soap making and all she's doing with that, like there is a level there that right now we are not profitable given our expenses for that. And so I understand that. She understands that. It's fine. We're both trying to grow stuff on our own and we're both supporting each other while we do it. But we understand that, hey, these aren't profitable necessarily at this moment. And that's okay because we're willing to go the distance with them because we believe in them. And uh, guys, I will be starting to promote her soaps on here because I can do that now. She does have a soap business where she hand makes all of her soaps. She uses all natural ingredients. She has some 100% all natural soaps. Anyways, that's not here for tonight. Uh, like, so when she says there's no one size fits all for us, that should be absolutely sounding alarms in every single person who hears this. And for a few days, it actually did. But now you have people coming out with this short term memory loss that Xbox players have, and I don't get it. where they're like, guys, things are looking up now. Things are looking up. We got Hellblade coming. Then we get Avowed this year. Indiana Jones. Look at all these things. Oh my God, it's going to be great. And like, it's all back to the narrative of everything's going to be fantastic. Everything's going to be wonderful. And that's just not the case. It is just not the case. What's up, Jez? We are burning the midnight oil here. Um, and once that is paid, you will be turning a profit. Then you can use the term profit, right? Hey man, Jez, I really appreciate it, dude. I really do, man. That's so nice. Oh, Jez did not wait on a gifted membership. He did it on his own. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop that. I can't do that in good in good faith and good conscience. Thank you, Jez, for signing up and becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that. Um, okay, I buy just natural products. Uh, yeah, well, so in the soap making like sector, that is actually a really big deal. What kind of colorants you use, what kind of oils and all that stuff. But anyways, my wife is absolutely knocking that out of the park. It's super cool. But we are not profitable in that. We have spent a few $1,000s over the past couple years to put into the business, marketing, not marketing, but put into the business, do all that. Jez, you did not have to do that at all. Ryan Landis, Emmanuel, uh, Andre Clay, I love popcorn. Me too. And then Dark Prince 6606. Y'all have all been gifted memberships by Jez. Say thank you. Everyone's getting a gift tonight. Uh-oh. The Grindhouse calls. Is he trying to get into the Discord? Let me see. Jez, let me know in the chat if you went into the Discord. I can open it up for you. Um, Guys, go ahead and hit those fire emojis for Jez. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate that, guys. Holy crap, I don't know what's going on tonight. This is crazy. Ice Queen Gaming. Apparently, I need to stay on until midnight. Oh, wow. That is so cool. Guys, if you're listening to this and I called out your name, swing by the chat. Say thank you to some of these guys in here who have been gifting members all night. Uh, that's absolutely insane. Not only did he gift members, but then he didn't wait for a gift and he did it on his own to become a member. That is so awesome. So, success, failure. Not hard. This woman, though, has spun this. And look at her face. She's engaging with the person. Like, people make fun of, like, the facial expressions that she made. But, like, when you're talking to somebody, facial expressions can go a long, long way. And this looks like she's kind of struggling a bit. She understands it really sucks. She's talking about it a bit. Like, you kind of get that impression from her. Like, yeah, this really sucks, but, you know, our metrics are different. The things we want are different. Blah, blah, blah. Now, what she should have said was, listen, we've been keeping these guys on the payroll for a year and a half. They got the PlayStation 5 version out and done, and we want to be out and done too. We don't want them anymore. We really liked what Hi-Fi Rush was, but it just wasn't going to be what we needed moving forward. Cool. Then explain to me why they won awards and how you're getting rid of them. Why didn't y'all move them into, or why didn't y'all try to sell them off? Like, that's the part that baffles me. Instead of saying, hey, we're just going to cut y'all and kill y'all and fire y'all, instead let them move off. Let them move. Let them move away. And so it's just, it is what it is, guys. And it's just frustrating because she is smart. Let's continue.
There's no one size fits all to it for us. And so we look at each studio.
Okay, right now she's lying. Right now she is lying. Remember how I said facial features are important? So when I was starting out in sales, when I was at the car dealership, when I started out, they sent me to a lot of training courses, and there were a lot of videos I had to watch. And funny enough, there's a lot of things that you can pick up on with facial features and body language and eye movement and even finger hand twitching, things like that. Uh, when you're looking at somebody and talking to them. but there's also signals that you're sending them. And one of the key things that like people can do when they're lying, it's just a nervous tick that they do, is they blink rapidly real quick. And I'm not making this up, guys. Y'all can look this up. Go to any freaking website that talks about how to tell if somebody's lying, and you will see that. So watch
It
this.
for us.
Watch her eyes right
Um,
here.
and
She did
so
she did
we
like
look
17,
at
8. There it
each
is.
studio,
Right
each
there.
game team, and we look at a whole variety of factors when we're faced with sort of making decisions and trade-offs.
And right there, there's not a lot of factors. There's not a lot of things they look at. There's not, it's a profit line. And so, guys, listen. She right here is lying her ass off. Now, as she enters into the lie, you can see the eye blinking and all that. Now that she's in it, though, and she's comfortable in it, now she's like, okay, cool, I got this. And so her body language actually relaxed. She started looking back at the interviewer, and like, it's insane if you watch this little section.
Like that. But it all comes back to our long-term commitment to the games we create, the devices we build, the services, and ensuring that we're setting ourselves up to be able to deliver on those promises.
Okay, so the promises was, and I'm going to get her off the screen now. I'm not going to bash anymore or anything like that. But so they're going to get back to the promises, the this, the that, the blah 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 gobbledygooks. And so I want y'all to understand. Basically, she said not a damn thing. She said we closed them because we fucking wanted to. That's what she said. They didn't meet whatever arbitrary metric we had, even though we said that they met everything and exceeded expectations. Engagement was up, sales were great, PS5 sales were doing good, the game was going great, and the studio was working on a pitch for Hi-Fi Rush 2. And the thing that sucks the most is a studio that actually made a great game for you, a game that could be an indie franchise for you, a smaller title, affordable title, keeping people on your platform. Maybe those people look at it and go, you know what, 30, 40 bucks for a game? I can absolutely do that. I know I'm subbed to Game Pass, but I'll do this for the studio. Sure, why not? There's games that I purchase physically or that I purchase on a sale but are available to me or were available to me as a PS Plus Essential title. I've done that. I've done it several times actually. A couple times not knowing. I've purchased Yakuza uh, a couple times physically when I already had it digitally through the PS Store. But what's up, Zero Steel? Who else has come in here? Satya was sincere. That's so true. Let him eat. Let them eat cake moment. Yeah, like man, just come out. They spent too much money and they were not currently sustainable with what they were doing, so they had to cut jobs. She could have said that, and at least I would have said, you know what? Okay, like that still sucks. That's still stupid. But no, no, that doesn't work. Like it's still bad, but at least I would have had a little bit more respect for them to come out and go, hey, listen, this wasn't working. So when PlayStation shut down their studios last year, they caught a lot of heat for it, and they also caught a lot of, well, I mean, the studios haven't really done anything in recent memory at all. So it kind of makes sense that they closed those studios. Does it suck? Yeah, but those studios didn't really do much, and the last game that one of them made wasn't really that good. And one of the studios that got shut down was not producing. Okay, cool. I get it. If you want to shut down Arcane Austin, fine. I kind of understand that, kind of blame Bethesda for that, but like if you want to shut down them, okay, at least I can look back and go, well, Redfall was shit. Okay. But you're shutting down a studio that actually did good stuff for you. Like they did good work. It's the only game on Xbox this generation that I've looked at and gone, you know what? I might play that one day. The only game. They got caught up in between projects. I mean, what do you expect from 15 to 17 months? A player base that pays for a service and refuses to pay full price at day one, and they get pissed off when they don't have the game day one. Third-party developers have to be getting pissed off and frustrated, and we know that some of them are, but I'm talking about like the big guys. They have to be getting frustrated that anytime a game releases now on Xbox, well, why is it not in Game Pass day one? Like, because other companies like to make money. Like, hang on, what did Jess say? They got caught in between projects. Yup. Crowd was going to throw tomatoes. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if we had another interview where Phil Spencer said, hey, we're just learning? We're just learning. I mean, it's so bad that when Sony comes out and says, hey, we're just learning, we don't give them a pass anymore because we've gotten so used to that and we've gotten so jaded on that term that when another company in the same space says it, we're like, you know what? F you. That's not okay. Y'all are supposed to be experts in this crap. There should be no learning necessary. They are going to go to Compulsion, Ninja Theory, Machine Games when they finish their projects. Who is? I'm so confused. Who is? I'd be terrified. You're right, Jez. What did I miss? Who signed her up for this? After, so here's the deal. It'd be the reason why I give Sony a pass when they say we're still learning because they were talking about PC space and that's not a space they've been in for years and decades. Uh, I don't give Xbox a pass on that because, well, they've been doing this shit for years and they've been doing it on PC before they will shut them down. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that every studio that has a game right now that is close to development should take longer to secure their jobs for a longer period of time. Like Avowed, just tell them it needs to be delayed another year. Like just so you can keep your job. Just tell them it needs to be delayed. Just make up some bullshit. Hey guys, it's not ready. It runs like shit. The Series S is exploding on us. I don't know what we're going to do. Like we can't release it. Indiana Jones melted our CPUs. We're really not able to eat monsters for breakfast. I don't know what we're supposed to do. It runs fine on a PS5, but we don't have the Xbox version. Like lie, lie, lie. The company you work for lies its ass off. Lie your ass off to them. Tell them how much extra time you need. Tell them you have 65 DLCs in the lineup that you have to work on that people are going to buy. Like you need to start lying your ass off. So next in the guillotine is Ninja Theory, then Obsidian, then Machine Games. Man, uh, I hope not. That's some. The studios you just mentioned there, even though I don't play a lot of Ninja Theory games, and I couldn't tell you the last time I played Machine Games or Obsidian, like, those companies I know. And so in the gaming industry, those companies, their studio names actually do carry some weight. Tango Gameworks, not as much. Arcane Austin, not as much. Um, and so like it's very nerve-wracking when you see that as a developer that works for those companies. Yay! And they keep their IP. I know that's a shitty part. Like that'd be like PlayStation going into uh it's not the same because it'd be the only thing I can think of right now is Insomniac. But like it'd be like PlayStation going into Insomniac and going, "Hey guys, listen, y'all are all fired. Why? Spider-Man won awards. We're working on Wolverine. Yeah, budget for Wolverine's getting too high. We got to let you go." And everyone's sitting there going, "Wait, what?" So all the people who had their passion put into these projects, now they don't get to keep them. They don't get to take their creative works with them because Microsoft owns the whole thing. Like, I am telling you, there was a developer that came out directly after Tango Gameworks closed, and he was like, listen, this is why we've never sold to a big company. We don't want them owning our creative ideas. Oh, Obsidian released Pent. Oh, God. Uh, oh, Machine Games did Wolfenstein Young. Ugh. Okay, yep. Yeah, those studios are gone. They're dead. And right now, though, every studio should be thinking that. Every single Ninja Theory should be terrified right now. Ninja Theory should be absolutely freaking terrified because this woman right here just said that here she is again. This woman right here, she literally just said that there is a varying metric that they gauge each studio on. Each studio. The other problem, and shout out to King Thrash, because the other problem, one of the things that he pointed out from his breakdown of the interview, was that it shows that Microsoft isn't committed long term to these studios. They're not committed to these IPs. They're only committed to what makes them the absolute filthiest amount of money possible. And that's it. And if you're not doing that, you're gone. Which, once again, is terrifying for a game like Hellblade 2 and a developer like Ninja Theory who's like, y'all told us to make this. Y'all wanted us to make it. Y'all said to make it a masterpiece, to make it gorgeous. Y'all said to put so much time and effort into it.
Hello?
Yo, what is
Oh,
up, Jed?
there you go. Sorry, dude. Yo,
Hell,
I
I
didn't mean
didn't.
to interrupt.
No, I didn't know you were in here. I thought I had it. That's why I was saying if you wanted to come in, let me know because I thought I had it set to invite only.
And
Uh,
I get, yeah, I just want to just congratulate you, man. You worked your
oh
ass off and you got to awesome.
man, I'll be honest. Tonight has been one of the most surreal things I've ever
Now you
experienced.
deserve it, man. You've been working hard on this stuff, and this stuff takes a lot of work.
It's. I mean, I appreciate. It's been like it's. I'm getting goosebumps right now, literally, because
Oh,
it's
congratulations, man.
surreal as shit,
Hit
dude.
that like button, everybody in here. You got to come up with a name with them. What are they called? The
Right now they're
playground
just
is what are they?
right now they're just called the partners because the only thing I kept being able to think of was playground playmates, and that's not okay.
No, that's not
so,
good.
so
Playmates.
right now I have it as partners. My wife and I and a couple of my buddies are
I like the
workshopping.
partner. That's good.
All right, yeah, playground partners, and then like if I get big enough and decide to put a second tier in there, it's gonna be the playground premiere or like
Oh,
the
there you
premier
go. That's
tier or
good.
something. Right, premier tier sounds great, but
Premier
like
tier.
right, but like I don't know, man. This is so weird. Like people are
Nah, that's awesome,
giving
man.
me money
Congratulations. I had
tonight,
to
and
be
it's
here for
so
your first
strange.
night. I was so like busy, and then I was like, "Oh, you're still live." I thought you were gonna like shut down like an hour ago, and then I saw you're still live, and I was like, I
I
was
got
watching wrestling.
started. I got started super late. Wrestling tonight. That is
No,
Dynamite.
I was watching a recording from Raw because I miss
Oh.
Raw because I do my own show. I miss Raw,
I
so I was just
saw
watching it.
you and Geo talking about that. Geo was like, "I'd love to see your show,"
I
but
see. I told you, Geo. Where's the ring, Geo? I told you I record it.
I
I'll
told
watch it
him to
later.
stop by tonight too, and nothing. But that's okay, man. I
Nah,
appreciate you
he's
stopping
probably
in.
watching NXT tonight. Oh, whatever.
Oh, is NXT on Wednesdays? I know
I think
Dynamite
it
is
is. I don't
Wednesdays,
watch
isn't it?
NXT. I don't know. The Platinum Playground.
Do
No, and yo, that
you?
whole well, saying about the what you when you were cooking about Sarah Bond there. Yo, the thing is that first of all, I don't know how the hell they gave him that interview. I don't know. I think the whole purpose of that interview was to kind of promote that whole mobile announcement because it seemed like when you were talking about the mannerisms and stuff, her mannerisms changed when it started talking about that
Mm-hmm.
mobile store. It seemed like that's what she went there for, but they had
She got so
they just
happy
like
about it.
yeah, right. Like it sounded like that was like what she rehearsed. Like, oh, we're gonna talk about this mobile store. Like, oh, this is our announcement about our mobile strategy. Because you gotta think, what the hell was she doing there? Because of what happened with the layoffs and stuff, I think she walked into there and was like, "Hey, you're gonna get all questions about these shutdowns. Come up with something." But the main reason why you're going to this forum is to talk about that mobile store and our position and trying to get, because remember what she said on that thing. She was saying how, oh, we want to get partners. Like they always want to create something and bring the developers in. They did this every single time with Windows apps, Windows Phone, the Windows 10 store, with Connect. They always want to make something and have other people join in. But the problem is that they never demonstrate. success. Like they never demonstrate the capabilities of their thing themselves. They always want to just kind of just go half step or toe in the water and then let other companies and partners take over and use it, and they could sit back and say go, that, and that's what their mo is. That's they always want to do. They always want to create a platform and just do a little bit and have everybody else take the rest of it with them and just run with it. They don't want to use, they don't really demonstrate their full capabilities. And the same thing with this store. Like, oh, we're gonna put our stuff in there, but we really other people will use it later.
Hmm. Yeah, and so, one of the things that I didn't hit on because I felt like you did a great job of it on your show on Monday was the big push that she was talking about with all the AI stuff. Like she wrapped in this
That was
whole
another thing. Yeah,
interview with AI at the end, and it literally like the whole interview, if you take out the question about the studio closing, the whole interview is this one continual thread from start to finish dealing with the mobile store, cloud, and AI. And so when she started talking about the game though, that's when like like I was pointing out like the mannerisms of when she starts talking about the studio closures,
the eye blinking,
she
dude,
she
it's
is
crazy.
uncomfortable as shit in that
Yeah, look at
moment.
her eyes. She's like blinking like
Dude,
crazy.
and I know that people are gonna go, well, you're reading too much into this. No, I'm not, man.
No, you could just see it.
I have spent most of my work life interacting with people. I am the guy that they send into clients' houses who are super pissed off, super angry, and they send me to calm them down and to fix whatever is wrong. And I do a damn good job of that because I know how to read people. I know how
Hmm.
to say the right thing. You go to a house and you have an older guy, military guy, opens the garage door for me to go up into the attic or whatever, just to come inside. And the first thing I'm doing is looking and seeing, okay, he has a Dallas Cowboy poster right there, or he has a Kansas City Chief poster. Cool, I'm a football fan. I can talk sports with this guy. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
I find any freaking thing I can to get his mind off of the problem. Because
Yep.
once
I mean, the
you,
reason why you were there. Yeah, exactly.
right,
Deflecting. Yeah,
because once
or
you
making a connection.
or making that connection because once you get him off of the problem, I have sat in people's houses where they've been 85 degrees and we've been talking about sports or the military because I'm a military brat or like
Hmm.
anything outside of the issue for 20 minutes, both of us sweating our asses off, laughing our asses off, having a great time. And then I go find out what's wrong with their unit and I fix it and do all that and then they're happy. But I am telling you, I'm 38. I have been reading people for my jobs since I was 15 years old.
Mm.
I know how to read people. The other thing she's doing in there a lot is one of the things that I used to do when I would preach, because I used to be a pastor. I would play with my wedding ring all the time while I was
Fidgeting.
preaching.
Yeah.
I would fidget because I was so nervous talking to him. And funny enough, people have commented on my other videos, like my actual videos, and have said, "Man, you sound like you're out of breath sometimes." And it's because it's nerve-wracking still for me, even being a faceless channel,
Hmm.
to put myself out there like that. So even right now, as I'm talking to you, as I'm watching the chat, as I'm seeing everything else go down, I am literally walking in my office, pacing back and forth because that's what I have to do to keep myself
Yeah.
calm and keep myself on track.
I
So,
do I do the same thing too. Sometimes like talking about a thing, like if something comes up at work or something like that, like I would pace and talk and just like predict or anticipate what the conversation is going to be, what they would say. So I'm prepared for like a meeting or something like that. Like yeah,
and
I know. And also too, it's like even goes with sales too. Like another thing that she says is like the gamers are asking for it. I'm like, no, they're
who?
not. But that's
Who?
a I know who exactly who, but you say that because it makes it look like oh people care about this stuff when she's blatantly lying because nobody even asked for a mobile store. And these games that she talked about, Candy Crush and shit, they already are in the Apple and Google stores. So you're not pulling them out to put them in your store. If you do, that's going to be not cool. So, like, what is your plan? And when people are invested already in Google Play and Apple, they just want to just hit buy DLC or buy this, and it takes their credit card. Who the hell wants to get pulled out of the app and go into a website to then log in with their Microsoft account to give Microsoft money so that they could get the same stuff they could just do by saying buy in store, buy with Google Play points or
Right.
Apple points, or just buy with Apple. You have Apple Pay and all that other stuff. Like, who's gonna go to another storefront and give somebody else their credit card for a game that they downloaded on the Apple Store? Nobody does this. And I gave the example on my show about Spotify. Spotify was trying to do this with their audiobooks, and it
Dude,
didn't
when
work
you
out
mentioned
because
that, I was like, wait, Spotify did audiobooks?
yeah,
I've
that
been
was a
using
they bought a
Spotify for
company.
years.
Yeah, well, hey, if you have Spotify Premium, you get 15 hours of audiobooks.
I don't. But when you said that, is
You
it connected?
should if
Is
you
it?
get premium, regular
Well, I don't.
Spotify.
I don't have. I just have the whatever the
Oh,
ad one is.
yeah, the free one. Okay,
But is so I
it's in the
used to
basic
get
ones. The $10,
I
ten
usually
ninety
get my
nine a month.
audiobooks from Audible. Uh,
No, yeah, well, you got to, yeah, because then you do your subscription for that, or you buy them,
I just buy them,
either one.
and
Yeah,
so
but no, Spotify included it
I had no
for
idea.
15 hours you get every month.
I had no idea. That's actually, to me, that's like, that actually is almost worth it because the books
Yeah, it
that I listen
is.
to on audio are
They got them all too.
do they
They
have
got a
the,
lot of books.
okay, see now
They
you,
have everything. Like that, the new Becky Lynch book that just came out. They got everything, and it's 15 hours. So if then what you could do is you could buy more credits, or you could wait to the next month where they'll give you another 15 hours.
holy shit. Sorry, I'm
Or you could
looking at
buy
this
credits.
right now and you can explore it to see
Yeah,
kind of what they have.
they have everything,
They
and you can listen to anything. It's not like it's locked behind premium or anything like that. It's like you just have 15 hours to listen to audiobooks. But that was a pivot because what they initially had was you could listen to sample, but if you wanted to buy the book, you would click on buy the book and it'll send you an email. And that email would have a link to the Spotify website where you'll buy the book. And that wasn't working. And then what they did was they turned it into just this 15 hours and you buy credits to listen. And those credits, I think, take you to their website. But I think that's their plan. But the thing is people don't want to. And I think Microsoft's ultimate plan is to try to do like what Epic did with Fortnite, try to have like their own store and have people go through there. But Microsoft sucks at storefronts. They still never fix Thrifty. They got a store that they have built into every friggin' computer that you buy. It's pre-installed there, and they couldn't even get people to use that thing.
so what's really funny is I have a buddy of mine who's looking into how to help me get all the shit that Microsoft just put back on my computer off of it
Oh
and
my
make it
God.
never to be allowed to come back because they put this AI companion over here that I
Hmm.
can't get. It's Copilot in Windows Preview. I didn't tell it to do that. And they put back
Oh yeah,
on.
that's all pre-installed. It's everywhere.
Well,
They shove that. They have ads.
I told it not
Dude,
to install it at the beginning, but they did an update. My second podcast I ever did with my new computer, it wasn't working, and I had to restart the whole computer. And when I did, I couldn't find any of the stuff that was in my tray. And it's because all of the Microsoft Suite had been re-downloaded, it had been reinstalled,
oh,
and
with the update.
oh my God, I'm so pissed off at them right now because
No, there's
they're
ad. Yo,
fucking my
you go to
shit.
settings. There's friggin' ads in the settings now. Like they've
Hmm.
been like sign up for Game Pass, get you Office. They are so like, man, they are just a mess. And that's what I was saying. Like a lot of this stuff with this AI, and that's why I feel like this whole next console thing that she brought up too is really a way to get more data and collect and go where the people are. Because you remember, they always said they want to go where the players are, but I never believed I realize now the main reason why they want to do that is because they want to track, they want to collect all your information. So they don't collect a lot of information. They just in front of a TV, especially since people are on the go now. So and they don't have a phone. They don't have like how Apple and Google collect data. So what they can remember, they're against Google and Amazon, right? Uh, that the only way for Microsoft to mobilize is laptops and computers, but people use phones and Microsoft can't get you on the phone. So they need something else. So that's why they want this whole like Windows on ARM, and also they want this kind of portable Xbox and things like that because it helps them build their AI to you know to be more relatable because they get to see the habits of people. If you just sit in front of your TV, play a few games, and leave, Microsoft can't see what your habits are, where you go shopping, what do you buy,
Hmm.
where when you're using stuff, like where you're playing your games, where like what things are you buying. So then they could change, they can make their AI smarter, and they could also market, sell
Well,
advertisements and stuff.
and it has to be some. This has to kind of go hand in hand with why a lot of companies, a lot of your bigger companies in gaming are making a lot of their games online only. Because think about the amount of data they're getting. Oh, the
Oh yeah.
90% of the players didn't complete these side quests. Maybe we don't do those type of side quests in our next game.
Oh, Phil used to say that all the time. Phil Spencer used to, remember, you say the data shows that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
like you. Remember you say that shit. Like I forgot what he would be like. Oh, the data shows like they really don't play. He was saying about for single player games.
Yeah.
The data. Remember back in the data shows like people really don't engage in single player games like they do multiplayer
Well,
games.
and
Remember he
then
shit on single
EA,
players.
because that was right before EA came out and kind of doubled down on that statement on their own, and were like,
Hmm.
no, we hate single player games. And I'm like, wait, what? y'all
Yeah.
y'all are
He's
releasing one in like 4 months. What are you talking about? Like,
stupid ass Phil Spencer. He said that when around Zelda and
yep.
Horizon Zero Dawn. And he was like, single player games just don't have the impact that they used to have. It's like, oh my
Zero
god.
Dawn? Do you mean Breath of the Wild?
No, Brett, no,
Or was
the
this
first
long
Zelda,
time ago?
this long ago, yeah,
Oh,
when Phil
okay.
Spencer said it, this was the same year that the original Zelda came out, Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn. He said in the beginning of the year, that year those games, Horizon was coming out February or something like that, and Zelda was coming out later on that year, and he said that single player games don't have, and he backtracked on that thing after. What did he say?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
J-
those stupid ass lines.
Josh said the data Sony has said people don't play online games. Jim said it 4 years ago. Well, and it's totally
That's
different
right, right?
beast, but it
He said,
is.
yeah, they said the opposite.
And it's because when a game like Stellar Blade drops, where everybody on the PlayStation community is like, "Hey, get the game, buy the game, play the game, have fun with the game. It's amazing." When a game like, oh, what was the, oh shit, no, it was the All Stars, PlayStation All Stars or whatever it was. When that game
Oh yeah.
dropped, everyone was like, "Hey, don't play this. It's shit. Just go back to play something else. Like, don't do that."
Hmm.
And the thing is I feel like the way that PlayStation sells a lot of their games is because their players talk about their games. I can't tell you how many times while I'm on my home screen or whatever on my PlayStation, I can see all of my friends list and I can see like video clips that they've taken and stuff that they've posted and things like that. And I'm like, oh, that game actually looks really fucking cool. What is that? Oh, that's that game. Oh, that's awesome. I might want to check that out. And I make a mental note and I'm like, oh, okay. So there was a game called Bastion. Somebody was playing it. It looked kind of cool. And I ended up buying it for like $3.99, and that game was fucking awesome. It was a
Oh
super
yeah,
fun
Bastion
and
was good.
short game. I loved that damn game, and it was great. I have a review on my channel for it. But
Yeah, I
guys,
like the PlayStation. Like when you boot it up, it says like what's new, and it's like games that you liked or on your wish list. Like it'll show you like DLC came out for it. Like I think the dashboard that they did with the PS5, like I think it's a clean, and it does. I think it's pretty effective.
yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild were the same month.
Yeah, they came
Yeah,
out the
I
same
know.
month. Yeah, Phil also. I just looked up. He clarified a statement. He said it was taken out of context.
He's
That's of
still
course.
learning. He's still
He was
learning.
learning back then. When was he learning? That was 2017.
It was
He was learning back then.
2017. He was still learning. Oh
Yeah.
man. But guys, I'm telling y'all, we need to be Xbox fans. If any of y'all are in the chat, if any of y'all been gifted memberships tonight, please come back. Keep listening because I am telling you beyond a shadow of a doubt, this woman is terrifying.
What
Anytime
woman? What
the
woman is terrifying?
Sarah,
Sarah Bond?
dude, no, listen, you laugh.
She's terrifying.
This if she is that quick on her feet to be able to do that, not everybody's going to look at the little microaggressions. Not everybody's going to look at her clicking her fingernails while she's talking about this, but not while she's talking about AI or the mobile store. Like, not everybody's going to pick up on that. They're going to go, oh, okay, so they have different metrics now, and this studio didn't do it. Okay, hell, the people on YouTube who are Xbox supporters have literally been spinning everything today, and all of a sudden Xbox is about to win again, and it's amazing,
Oh,
and I'm
forget about
like,
that.
what the
I'm
fuck, guys?
Thrifty. I'm gonna give you some the entertainment right now. Some tip that maybe you should start reading some of these. Go look at that video that you have for the original one of Sarah Bond.
Yeah,
On that one, just read the comments. You
just
can
read.
just read them out. And I'm going to tell you, she lost already because if you read the comments with her, and
Mm,
then Phil Spencer, if you read an interview with him, everybody's like, "What a great guy! He really knows gamers. He knows this. He knows all this stuff." Read hers. This was her first kind of like foray into really getting out in the public and doing an interview like this that wasn't like given by internal Phil
not
interviewing
not
her
like
or
the last
somebody they
one where
hired.
it was Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, and Phil Spencer, and
Yeah, and they had like that other girl who works for Microsoft like interviewing them. Like this
yeah.
is her like kind of out first time out in the open and got the hard questions. And just look at the comments. Dude, like look at the first one. She talk. Look at all the
Said
comments.
absolutely nothing. So tone deaf, the president of a
And
gaming
look at the
company should at
likes.
least know something about gaming.
There you go, Thrift Days gave it all that content. I was reading this, I thought it was hilarious. Keep
There is
going.
something
We go.
truly distasteful about someone working at such a high position who doesn't even care about the industry. She's the Xbox president. Rest in peace, Xbox. Holy shit.
Yeah, look, and this is not a fan. This is not no This is not no PlayStation post. Look. This is from what is it? This is who posted the video? This is Bloomberg or
This is
whatever
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg.
This is actually
Yeah, so these are
Bloomberg's
Bloomberg.
channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is their official channel.
Whoa, 1.3. Whoa, that's bad. I need
And
to get
look at all
that.
the likes.
I need to get that plugin that tells me how many likes there are and how many
Look at the
dislikes.
likes of the comments. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
what a soulless
528.
corporate
Yeah.
person. She's the Xbox president. Rest in peace. Yeah, this is Bloomberg Live. This is the
Oh.
business.
Okay, so this one actually ratioed it. Look at this. It says, interviewer, share your thoughts on the recent closure of 4 studios. Sarah, Fallout TV series was great. 1500,
They read right through her.
1,500 likes. Holy
Exactly,
crap, that's more
1,500
than the
likes.
video has.
And if you read Phil Spencer's interviews, everybody's like, he's such a nice guy. He knows us. He's a gamer. Every interview Phil Spencer does, he's such a smooth talker. That's where Phil Ness came from. But she's done. Like this is the worst interview her. Like this is just
Oh,
everybody. You go all the
man.
way to keep going.
Well,
What do
never
they say?
mind.
I'm
I
looking
gave
at
her too
something.
much fucking credit, and I gave gamers too
No,
little credit.
nope.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not. She's not. No, there's no Sarah Ness here, man. She's roasted.
She.
Get rid of her. Fire. She can't even deliver a real response. Somebody said. Interviewer,
That's.
why did you close Tango? Just make a hit game. Sarah, you know about the Fallout? So, like, what did she say? I don't know. You just scrolled.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, nobody's saying like, oh, Nobody gave her any sympathy. Nobody's like, oh, this must have been difficult for her. Like, nobody did what they do to Phil.
My favorite
They
one is this
roasted
one
her.
that DNKY27 put on here. We build. Bond and Spencer haven't ever built shit. Tango did, and they canned them. Xbox is fucked.
Yeah, dude, they roasted her.
Hang on.
They roasted her.
Is there anybody who I was waiting to see in the comments if somebody said something like a rebuttal? Nope. They didn't build
No, there
Rare,
isn't. You
Minecraft,
keep
Candy
going.
Crush, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. Even Bethesda didn't build Fallout. Doom, Hellblade, Psychonauts, or just about anything they are trying to be known for at this point. Talentless hacks, gotta buy it once others already did the hard part of making it, and look how quickly it turns to shit the moment they own the management decisions. I want to get this guy on the podcast. Cosmos.
Dude, they are done. Like the Wizard of Oz, the curtain has been pulled back and it's done.
That's insane.
It's done. They just
Speaking of
purchased
being
all these
done,
studios and
speaking
they
of
did
being
it.
done, it is almost 1 o'clock here. I do need to get some sleep tonight, And so, guys, it has been a wonderful night. Thank y'all so much. Jez, thanks for showing up here. Thanks for the
Hey, no
congratulations,
problem, man.
man.
Congratulations.
You
Had to
have
be a pretty
helped
special night.
you have helped a ton getting me set up on this. I'm about to hit you up for some more stuff because I want to weigh. So I wanted how Salty used to have it, where before the Discord members were brought in on the panel, somehow he was able to kind of mute us, so we were able to still talk and everything.
Yes, you guys set up
Uh,
a room and then pull people in.
and so I want to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And I also want to figure out how to get my internet window, my browser window, to actually show up to where it doesn't cut off the bottom of the screen. Because
Yeah.
it's been doing that. But anyways, guys, it's still a work in progress. I cannot believe the amount of support y'all showed me tonight and showed the channel. Thank y'all so much. It's been amazing. Next week, unless the bottom falls out, we will be doing a show focused heavily on the games that we're playing and the things that we're looking forward to. Unless the bottom falls out. I don't know. We might get another fucking interview. Like, we were in our Discord the other day, and everyone was, or Nelson popped in and goes, "Man, it's been quiet in here today." Or no, somebody said, "It's been quiet today." And Nelson was like, "Yeah, Xbox hasn't fucked up. There's still time, though." Like, because
There,
it's,
there is.
anyways, guys,
PlayStation drops a showcase date. Microsoft. Oh well, yeah. 1 hour before Hellblade, the reviews will come out.
we talked about that
Oh,
earlier.
1 hour.
When is
What a
PlayStation
mess.
Showcase this year?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know either.
thinking they're gonna have one probably either early next month or the end last week of this month.
Yeah, I mean, when does Summer Games
The
Fest
Herman
start?
Holt show.
Is it
Summer Games Fest starts
June?
in June.
First
He
week
does
in
it
June,
like
isn't it?
June. Yeah, like June 3rd.
And
And then
last
PlayStation
year,
does
but
their thing.
PlayStation kicked it off last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it around this time. They did it like middle of May
That's what
or
I
end of
thought.
like last week of May.
But
Because they have this they have some sort of like like business update at the end of the month, and that's when they did their showcase like the day before that business update
oh man,
last year.
Hero, I understand, man. You got a new job, so I fully appreciate your support, though, man. You have been awesome. Guys, I am out. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank y'all for stopping by.